Roseburg football is on the air.
It's going to be an exciting season, and here come the Indians.
Welcome to another broadcast of Roseburg High School sports on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Now, let's head to the field for the pregame show. Here's your host, Joey Kieran.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Roseburg, Oregon in Finlay Field on the campus of Roseburg High School, as tonight we bring you Roseburg Indians football hosting the Canby Cougars in a non-conference game to wrap up the 2018 regular season. It is a wet one tonight, and one of our first nights here at the football field where it actually feels like fall. It's been a beautiful season, and no better way to end it out than at home here at Finlay Field. And we welcome you into tonight's broadcast of Roseburg football here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. I'm Joey Kieran along with Josh Nelson tonight. Happy to be bringing you Roseburg football once again here on The Score, and hope that it's not the last time we get a chance to introduce the Roseburg Indians here in 2018. Plenty to discuss here in our pregame show as we get ready for kickoff, as it is a wet one here from Finlay Field tonight. Looking forward to seeing how that plays into tonight's contest. But for Roseburg tonight, they come in. They lost their last one against the Sheldon Irish to wrap up Southwest Conference play, but 2-6, a chance to get back to the record they had to end last year at 3-6 with a win here tonight. 2-6 overall, finished 1-3 in conference play under the third year of head coach Dave Heiberger. On the other side, the Canby Cougars come in, ninth season for head coach Mike Vaught, and the Cougars are out to an 0-8 start to the year as they look to try and finish off the 2018 season on a positive note and send out their seniors in a positive manner. It is senior night tonight for the Roseburg Indians. It's homecoming as well, and there's so much on the line as the Roseburg Indians hope to get a win tonight and see if they can put themselves in the postseason. Welcome into the broadcast here tonight with me, Josh Nelson, who will be providing analysis throughout tonight's game. And Josh, this one tonight, we see the weather. It feels like fall, but it definitely feels like a great night for some football as Roseburg wraps up the regular season, trying to get back to the mark they set last year, but also with a solid chance to get themselves into the postseason here in 2018.
Yeah, you can just feel the atmosphere tonight. It feels electric. There's something special about tonight. It is senior night. It is homecoming on top of that, and a chance at the playoffs. If they win tonight, you couldn't ask for anything better on a Friday night.
14 seniors just recognized here before we get ready for kickoff. The football team headed back to the locker room as the band getting ready to take the field and entertain us with our opening solo, I guess. I mean, it's the band. They're out there. They're getting ready for the national anthem. I feel bad for them. Hopefully their instruments don't rust, but I guess it's better than being freezing cold temperatures and getting your lips stuck to your wind
tuba.
Instrument, your tuba, yeah.
There.
The trumpet as well. So hopefully those guys having some fun in the band here tonight. It is a wet one here this evening, and really going to be the wettest game that we're probably going to see all season long. It has been an amazing fall, and looking at what we see right now, you've been telling me all day, Josh, this feels like fall weather. Tonight is probably the worst night weather-wise we've seen all season.
Absolutely. It finally feels like it's football season. You go over here, you look to your left, and you can see the trees in the light of Finlay Field here that are orange, red, yellow, some tree leaves on the ground. It finally feels like fall for the first time all season. Now, I'm not complaining because it's been great. We haven't had to wear big, heavy jackets or gloves or anything this season, but tonight feels like the first game that's actual football season.
We'll definitely keep you updated on the weather throughout tonight's game. We want to let you know tonight's contest is also streaming live online at 541radio.com. You can watch the game streaming live for free. So if you know anybody that might be tuning into the radio broadcast that might enjoy it, let them know. You can bring it up on your smartphone, a tablet, your laptop, and even bring it up on mini TVs as well. So a lot of ways to keep in touch with tonight's action as Roseburg and Canby get ready to square off. As we make our way through the pregame show, we'll get a chance to catch up with head coach Dave Heiberger coming up in our next segment. I want to let you know tonight's Roseburg football game been brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Take a quick 60-second break and be back with a word with head coach Dave Heiberger here on 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here with more of our pregame on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming online at 541radio.com. It's time now for our pregame coaches interview, brought to you by Tim's Appliance at the corner of Lane and South Stevens and Roseburg. 0% financing, always available. Get a chance to catch up here with head coach Dave Heiberger. And Coach, tough one last week there against Sheldon, really proving that they are a quality team there, as they have been for many years. But what kind of things do you guys learn about yourself in that one when it got a little bit lopsided early, but you guys stuck with it, kept battling throughout that contest?
Yeah, it's just a mismatch. They're physically better than us at quite a bit of positions, and they're a better football team, and it wasn't a good matchup for us.
Well, as you guys move forward from that, you get here into the final matchup of the season. It's a non-conference, but this week of practice leading into the final week, nothing guaranteed after this. How have the guys been? They seem really excited, really kind of jazzed up to be at this point in the season?
Yeah, you ask me that every week, and every week I give you the same answer, and I kind of feel bad, and maybe I'll just let you know when we didn't have something where the kids had good energy. And so, yeah, the kids were there, and you could see some of the, seniors, they were a little bit closer this week, hanging out with each other. Took them all to Denny's this morning and had breakfast there at 6:30, and, it was neat to see a group of kids come together the way they have, where you kind of have that culture where they're sitting in the locker room with their cell phones off, talking with each other, joking around, having a good time. So it was a great week to be around the kids, that's for sure.
I know, and definitely was thinking about that, senior week, all that kind of stuff, a group that's going to be graduating. But the senior night affair, it's always kind of something that every coach has got to go through each and every week. And as you look at it, what's it mean to you as a coach when you get to the final night with a chance to be out there with these seniors and having to say goodbye to them, kind of knowing that moment's coming here?
Yeah, it's obviously not the best part of the coaching job, but at the same time, we're hoping that they're moving forward with those life lessons. Then they go on, and we get to see them in 20 years, and they're being successful and doing all the right things. And so part of their job, on a senior night is to, always leave the program in better shape than they found it. And I think that's the goal for any seniors, and I think right now they've done that. And so I'm incredibly proud of that group of seniors.
Tonight you guys get a Canby team comes in without a win, but an opportunity for you guys to kind of finish out the season on a strong note. It's been nice to play here at home where you guys have gotten the 2 wins so far. Getting back to a 3-6 record where you finished out things last year. How much does this one mean to these guys here as they go out there and try and get that 3rd win of the season?
It means a lot. Canby's a good football team. They're in a conference where I think 6 out of the 7 teams are in the top 15, so it's not like they were losing to Sisters of the Poor or anything like that. They've had a difficult schedule, and they're going to be a big physical team out of that conference up out of Portland. And for us to go out and play well, and obviously it's a great opportunity and a great challenge. And last year we kind of laid an egg at North Salem, and I know that's kind of fresh in at least my mind. It's still fresh, and so we're kind of looking forward to getting out and getting after Canby. It's they're 0-7, but it's going to be a battle. That isn't coach speak. Yeah. They have some dudes, and it's a program that has had a lot of success in the last year or two. They've fallen on some hard times up there in that Portland conference, but they're a quality opponent.
I know, there's a lot that you maybe have to be a mathematician to figure it out, but how much have you guys looked at what could be after this week for you guys? Have you talked about it, addressed it all with the guys?
Not one player's asked me about it. generally that means they know something I don't know. And so I'm not going to bring it up to them. We're going to approach each game with the deal that we want to play as well as we can. And that's kind of where we're at going into it. I'm the last guy to help you with math. And so a lot of years in the 5A looking at that RPI stuff and going to bed at 10:30 and waking up in the morning, and it's completely different than all the mathematicians had it. And so you win and we have an opportunity to maybe get in, and that makes this a meaningful game. And if you're playing a meaningful game at the end of the year, I'll take that right now.
All right. Well, we look forward to it tonight as the Roseburg Indians wrap up the regular season against Canby. As we get ready for kickoff, we'll thank head coach Dave Heiberger for his time here in the pregame show. That's your Tim's Appliance pregame coaches interview. Back with more here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here at Roseburg High School, where the Indians are getting ready to take on the Canby Cougars. Final game of the regular season for the Roseburg Indians, and it is a wet one here tonight from Finlay Field. Roseburg Indians trying to get back to the 3-6 record that they had last season, finished out the year, and it felt like last year Roseburg ended up about 1 win shy of getting into the postseason, and we'll see what happens here tonight. Obviously, Roseburg, if they win tonight, would finish with the same record, identical record to what they had last year, but it feels like tonight the idea of the postseason with the win against a team that comes in without a victory under their belt, that tonight a victory for Roseburg puts them in a very good chance. Now, it kind of depends on who you ask. It kind of depends on how good of math you are, how much work you're willing to put in. But Roseburg right now on the very much on the bubble of getting into the postseason as an at-large team.
Yes, absolutely. They have everything there. It seems like we're kind of in the same place as we were last year, except for we're at home this year.
Yeah, that's a little nicer to be able to be at home for tonight's action. So we've got Roseburg getting ready to take on Canby as the captains will head out towards midfield. For Roseburg, captains tonight, seniors, Colin Warmoth, Riley Culberhouse, Zach Mandera, and Thomas Ruth. 14 seniors being acknowledged before the game, and the senior team manager, Greg Gibby, as well. We'll definitely acknowledge the seniors throughout tonight's football game. But taking a look at tonight's game, going to be a wet one. It's cooler. It's already dark. Not very windy, it looks like. Conditions may come into play, but as you look at it, Josh, what are some of tonight's keys to the game for Roseburg to get a victory?
So tonight, for the keys to the game, I have 3 of them. The first one is play the entire 4 quarters. As you mentioned before, Canby hasn't lost or won a game this year, but there's so much to distract Roseburg tonight. With senior night, it being homecoming, a playoff berth on the line, and also it's Zach Mandera's birthday tonight. So, with all that going on tonight, they got to stay focused and just play 4 full quarters of football. Number 2, limit the penalties. Yes, I say that a lot, but this game it could really come down to it. Roseburg has been penalized more times at home than they have on the road. They've been penalized 36 times at home in only 3 games, which is an average of 12 penalties a game. They've got to get that number down here at home because it could be a difference maker in this game. And number 3, take advantage of any and all turnovers that Canby may give to them. They need to score some points off of a turnover on downs or a fumble or an interception.
All right, some keys to tonight's game for the Roseburg Indians and the Canby Cougars. They've got the coin toss going on out at midfield. We will find out who's going to get the ball first, and when we come back, we'll be getting you ready for the start of the game. Kickoff moments away. We'll go ahead and take the break as Canby will receive to start out the ball game. We'll have their starting lineups brought to you by Supercuts when we return after this 2-minute break. This has been the pregame show on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Kickoff is underway as the Roseburg Indians will kick it right to left. It's a short kick to about the 22, and the return man for Canby is squared up by sophomore Garrett Zymed and taken down in Canby territory. We get things started here for you. It's Roseburg football on a Friday night from home, wrapping up the regular season on senior night, homecoming, and the regular season finale, everything all at once. Canby will come out. They start with the football at their own 29-yard line. Leading them out, they'll have quarterback Trent Wakefield, a senior, 6'1", 175 pounds. We'll check and see who else they have out there with them as he'll set up in shotgun, hands off the football, running right side over the formation and going nowhere. The running back, Jack Shunn, a junior, 5'8", 160 pounds. Up along the front line, we expect to see Brent Patterson, Josh Haynes, Peyton Martin, Thomas Mitchell, and Stephen Rue. Wide receiver targets we'll see throughout the contest here tonight. Risden Miller, Brandon Morris, Jackson Lindman, Peyton Miller, Tyler Mead, and Jaden Brewer, just some of the names we'll be calling in the wide receiver corps. That's your Supercut starting lineups for the offense. For Canby, they set up second down and long. Handed off again in the backfield, swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go for Shunn. He had lost 2 yards on the first down carry. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Cougars on their first possession.
And that was Thomas Ruth that ended up getting the tackle. He filled that gap perfectly, and he ran right into Ruth's arms.
Ball goes back to the 29, so it is 3rd down and 10. Couple of carries early for Shunn. Now it's 3rd down and long. Rolling to his left will be Wakefield. Setting up the pass. Downfield has a man open, but he overshoots him. Intended for Tyler Mead, the sophomore target, out racing Peyton Bryant deep, but the pass too far out in front, and it'll go to 4th down for the Cougars.
And that's exactly what Roseburg needed right now. They need to get this 3 and out. It looks like they're bringing on their punt team. Canby's using this weird formation right now where they have 2 tight ends, 1 on each side, and then 2 receivers off to the side.
And watch as they get ready for this punt. I was watching video earlier. I think they usually send a man in motion when they get ready to punt. 4th down and 10. They'll start the clock, 10:38. Actually, excuse me, they will not on the incompletion, and they didn't move anybody in motion. Punt is away. Left-footed kicker. Warmouth will receive it, a fair catch, and he'll bring it in at about the Roseburg 37. And Roseburg will force a 3-and-out to start out the ball game against Canby. So the Roseburg offense will come out as we take a look at your Supercuts. Starting lineup, Supercuts in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. For the Roseburg Indians, starting quarterback Colin Warmouth having his best year as the quarterback for Roseburg. He has started over the last 3 years. He'll be out there, the senior, 6'3", 175 pounds. We see the return of Doran Gillespie tonight, but he will not be out there on the first play. It's Zach Mandera, the senior in the backfield, the birthday boy that'll set up to the right of Warmouth. Trips to the left side. D'Angelo Adams, the lone target to the far side. They go on a pass play. The first one, it's a double pass as Jay Stoffel back tonight finds Peyton Bryant downfield. It's a foot race to the 10, the 5, touchdown, Roseburg. And the Indians will get on the board on their first play from the line of scrimmage.
Welcome back, Jay Stoffel. That was awesome. I saw him out lined up there on this side of the field, out wide, and I was wondering if something like that was going to happen because in warm-ups, we were watching Stoffel throw the ball around quite a bit.
That is a 63-yard touchdown pass. It goes from Warmouth, a backwards lateral to Jay Stoffel, and the junior who broke his collarbone in the first game of the year on one of the first plays of the year. Broke his collarbone. He's been out. His first play tonight, a double pass, and it's for a touchdown. Peyton Bryant puts it through the uprights to make it 7-0. And Roseburg, they are pulling out every stop in the playbook. Get a trick play to start out this one. 10:20 to go and lead 7-0. Let's take a quick 30-second break and be back after this here on 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
A drive of one play, 63 yards. It took 12 seconds, and the Roseburg Indians lead 7-0 on top of the visiting Canby Cougars. Josh, I didn't expect to see a trick play this early in the contest.
I didn't expect to see it, but we kind of saw that stuff kind of leading up to that play because throughout the year, it's been trick plays have been coming into the playbook earlier and earlier.
Jay Stoffel finding Peyton Bryant for the 63-yard touchdown. Kickoff is away. It's going near the sideline, and it will bounce out of bounds. Penalty flag on the play. Canby will get the ball with pretty good field position here. And Roseburg's defense will come out after a 3-and-out last time. They'll look to see if they can get another stop here on this possession. I want to mention real quick for Peyton Bryant, the junior, that was his 33rd catch of the season and his 4th touchdown of the year. So the ball goes out to the 35-yard line for Canby. 3-and-out last time they were out there. Wakefield will lead the offense back out onto the field. He's got Shun to his right. They'll give it to Shun running left side. Following his blockers, things open up over the edge. He'll get out to the 40-yard line. They'll give him about the 40.5 as he'll pick up 5.
And it looks like 62, Colton Jordan was the first one to get to him.
So it's a pickup of about 5 for Shun on the ground. Looking at that front line for Roseburg, Caden Gingrey, Clayton Brelage, Colton Jordan, Thomas Ruth, Hunter Blix, all names we'll see along that front line. Rourke Martin, Zach Mandera, Ethan Stoner at the linebackers. That's running again over that left side. Canby goes back to the same play, and it works for at least another 4 yards out to the 45, and that is going to be right on top of that first down marker. I think it's going to move the chains. It should. They will move them forward, I do believe. Yes, they do. So 2 runs there and getting the first down. Jack Shunn able to move the chains.
And Roseburg's going with that 5-down lineman set right now. Again, it's worked quite well this season, as we've seen, of stopping that run.
Isaiah Moore, Colin Warmoth, Garrett Zimet, guys you'll see in the secondary. Peyton Bryan out there as well. As that wraps up the starting lineups for the Roseburg Indians defense, brought to you by Supercuts. Another run play. They go with a double handoff, and it's fumbled in the backfield, but able to jump back on top of it. The running back. And that is Shunn that gets back on the football. He'll lose 3 yards on the play. And he got the handoff from Wakefield, then tried to hand it off to a receiver, motioning back across the formation, and just couldn't get it into the bread box.
No, and with this weather, this rain's going to make that ball wet and slippery really, really fast.
So they lose 3 yards on the play. Looking to pass, the lefty Wakefield sets up, throwing downfield, has a man out there, and it's picked off by Warmoth. Colin Warmoth with the interception. That ball just lofted deep, and Colin comes away with yet another pick this season. Warmoth, with his 4th of the year, gives Roseburg field position back at their own 30 with the first takeaway.
And right there, Warmoth was tracking that ball. You could see his eyes on that ball the entire time. He knew where that ball was going to be. He was able to jump up and grab it and take it away from Canby. And like I said earlier, as one of the keys to the game, they need to now score on this takeaway.
So Colin Warmoth with the pick. And it sets up Roseburg at their own 25-yard line with 8:47 to go here in the first quarter. Looking to try and get the first play off, and it does not work well. Sliding down in the backfield was Warmoth, losing 5 yards. He takes a sack there.
And I'm not quite sure what happened, if that was a bobbled snap or what, into Warmoth's hands.
So Warmoth back 5 yards. For Roseburg, that was only the second play from the line of scrimmage. 8:22 and counting. Roseburg leads 7-0. That interception, Canby's first turnover of the game. Roseburg leading after the trick play on the first play of the game. Warmoth in shotgun, Mandera to his right. Adams, Zimet, and Bryant to the left side of the formation. The pass goes out to the right side. It's senior Carson Ellis with the grab. And Ellis was on a knee when he picks that one up. He'll get about 6 yards on the reception, and it'll make it third down. There we go. The sticks were reading first down, and I thought they were going to change it to second, but that wouldn't make much sense. It'll be 3rd down and 9 after the pickup of 6 for Ellis.
Yeah, his knee was completely on the ground. It was a good call by the official to blow the play dead.
So Ellis with a 6-yard catch. Now 3rd and long for Roseburg. Warmoth looking to pass. A lot of passing so far. Warmoth now steps up in the pocket. He'll race out and gets across the 30 out to the 31-yard line. He's not going to get the first down. It'll be 4th down and 4 for Roseburg. I've been surprised to see how often we see Warmoth dropping back to pass here on a wet night at Finlay Field.
I am actually surprised to see that, especially since Zach Mandera has done so good in that backfield the last 2 games.
The run takes him out to the 31, a pickup of 5 for Warmoth, but it's not enough to move the chains. Warmoth back to kick it away. He'll punt, and it's a line drive shot that goes out of bounds. Just across the 50. Not a great punt out of Warmoth, but it will put Canby back on their half of the field. 6:47 to go. Roseburg wears off 2 minutes with that drive, and Canby with the ball back for a 3rd time here in this first quarter. Roseburg football tonight brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop.
Right there. Roseburg needed to at least get a first down, try to get a score on that turnover, and they weren't able to do it. It was 3 and out. So Roseburg needs to be able to do something when they do take the ball away.
Canby came into tonight averaging just 6.9 points per game. Not a huge number, but they do play in one of the toughest conferences in high school football in the state of Oregon at the 6A level. Handoff in the backfield, up the middle, slipping through tackles. Looked almost virtually untouched. Jack Shunn gets across midfield out to the 49-yard line. A pickup of about 7, making 8 yards on the carry for Shunn, and he sets up second down and short.
And it was Ethan Stoner that came in and made that tackle from behind. And if he didn't get it, he probably would have picked up a first down.
The carry goes for 8 yards. Shunn to the right of Wakefield. Tied into the left of the formation. They hand it right up the middle. Goes Shunn. And he looks close to the first down. And he'll get it out to the 46 to move the chains. Pickup of 3 on the ground.
And it was Rourke Martin that was able to close that gap and was able to come up and wrap him up and bring him down.
So far, Trent Wakefield, the senior end in the backfield, the quarterback, is 0 for 2 on the passing game. An incompletion and an interception. Other than that, it has been all Jack Shunn, the junior running back, has carried much of the load. He'll set up to the right of Wakefield. 2 targets to the right side of the formation. One of them, Meade. He'll get it on a wide receiver screen, and he'll escape his first tackler. Peyton Bryant tried to get a hold of the shoulder pads to bring him down. He could not do it, and able to get out to about the 36-yard line, close to the first down marker. They will move the chains on the pass play.
Peyton Bryant was able to get his arms around him and slowed him down enough for number 81, Isaiah Moore, to come up and make that tackle.
Pickup of 10 on the pass play. Tyler Meade. First catch of the night for Canby as they charge into Roseburg territory. 1st and 10 from the 36. Handoff and hit as he got to the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go for Shunn. Kind of got into the line initially, but then just got stood up. A couple of black jerseys around him, and he goes down hard.
Oh, it was Zach Mandera that came in, and he hit him hard. He let him know that he is this middle linebacker for Roseburg's defense, and he is going to come up and stop you as hard as he possibly can. One thing with Canby is they're using a lot of motion, and they have that 2 tight end set in right now. Very difficult for this Roseburg defense to defend.
They do have tight end to the right as well as a wing back. They throw out it was a post pattern to the far side of the field. Would have had the first down. The pass a little high and goes off the fingertips of the intended receiver. Out deep, that was Risden Miller. He tipped it up in the air. The defender had to go for the tackle, but if he had been late and that ball tipped up, might have had a chance at a pick, but the smart play there is to go for the stop.
Yeah, 81, Isaiah Moore was the one defending him right there, and he did a great job at hitting the receiver as the ball got to him, breaking up that pass.
Makes it 3rd down and 10. Roseburg looking to get off the field with their defense. 4-man front on the edge. Ethan Stoner. He will play the run as they throw deep. It's the same play, and slipping through the tackle, still on his feet is Miller, and he'll have the first down and into the red zone as Canby will set up with 1st and 10 inside the Roseburg 15.
And right there, it was just a stop-and-go route by the receiver. He ran about 7 yards, stopped, came back towards the ball, and the defender just had kept going. You got some separation there between the receiver and defender.
23 yards on the completion, a lot of it coming after the catch. Risden Miller, his first catch of the night, sets up 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Ball on the left hash mark. They spread out 2 targets to the near side of the field. One of them is Meade, the other Chance Miller. It's going to be a keeper here for Wakefield, racing out to the near side, now looking to try and pass, and he'll just end up running out of bounds. He got to a stutter step and started to cradle the football like he was going to look downfield, but realized he had defenders all over him and wisely tucks it back in and runs out of bounds, loses a few yards on the play.
And that was a design fake by the quarterback. The right side guard and tackle pulled as if he was handing the ball off, and they was trying to get Roseburg to bite and follow them to make the stop. Roseburg did not bite at all. They knew where the ball was and was able to chase the quarterback out of bounds.
Last week in the first quarter, Canby got a field goal. And That 24-yard field goal gave them a 3-0 lead against Oregon City, but then Oregon City scored all the rest of their 45 points. Looking at 2nd and long here, it's a keeper for Wakefield on the fake handoff. Zach Mandera brings him down at the 12, and it's going to be 3rd down. And Canby will have a distance to go here. And if Roseburg can hold them, we might see him try to bring out the kicking game once again.
And what stopped him right there, Zach Mandera drug him down by the back of his jersey. The only thing that he could grab a hold, and he did not let go. He put all his weight onto the ground and pulled him down.
Up to the line for the Cougars. They'll send out trips to the left side of the formation. The lone receiver to the right is Risden Miller. In shotgun is Wakefield, and whistles will blow. Timeout down on the field, I do believe.
Yeah, it's by Roseburg.
It will be Roseburg taking a timeout. 30-second break. Roseburg leads 7-0 with 3:41 to go in the first quarter here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
Out of the Roseburg timeout, their defense will be facing 3rd down and 9, trying to get a stop in the red zone. Tonight's game brought to you by Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Canby has charged down the field. 8 plays on this drive. They've eaten up some time, and they're looking to try and keep it going, see if they can find the end zone. Facing 3rd and 9, right hash mark, Wakefield rolling to his left. The lefty throwing to the end zone on the slant route. Caught! Risden Miller in for the touchdown.
And that was a really well-placed ball by Canby's quarterback to throw it in there right where the receiver could catch it. Peyton Bryant was all over the receiver. He had just thrown it right where number 11 for Canby could catch it.
So Miller finds the end zone first for the Canby Cougars. That one comes from 12 yards out. They'll go with the PAT, right-footed kicker. And it is Chance Miller that'll put it through the uprights. And Canby ties this one up at 7-all with 3:36 to go here in the first quarter. We'll take another quick 30-second break and come back with more of the first quarter action for you. Roseburg and Canby all knotted up here on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
First kickoff for Canby coming up after they march down the field and finish it off with a 12-yard touchdown pass from Trent Wakefield to Risden Miller. And the extra point from Chance Miller puts it through the uprights to tie the game up at 7-all here with 3:36 to go in the first quarter. Roseburg football tonight brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Kicking the ball for Canby. That might be Ronan Gay. It's not, but it's a short grounder to Zach Mandera. Picks it up at the 35. He comes to the near sideline. Nobody there. He's across midfield at the 45. He makes a step around the defender at his feet. Jackson Lindman trying to bring him down. He did not want to get in the way of the freight train that is Zach Mandera, and a great return for Roseburg will set them up in Canby territory.
Canby is pulling little tricks out of the book right now, too. Opening drive, they try to do a little squib onside kick there. Didn't realize Mandera was going to pick it up. Normally the front two lines are told to drop it, but Mandera has the hands and the speed to pick it up and try to run with it.
So Roseburg sets up at the Canby 40-yard line, looking to try and retake the lead. Tied 7-7 with 3:28 to go first quarter. Warmoth in shotgun. Rain starting to subside a bit. Hands it off to Mandera. He sidesteps a linebacker, slips through a tackle from the defensive back, and drags him by his ankles down to about the 22-yard line. And that is the first carry of the night for Zach Mandera. And for the birthday boy, that's about as typical of a run you could see out of Zach Mandera.
Zach Mandera did a great job there. He was actually, it was number 51, Cole Schaffner for Canby that he was dragging. He drug him about 3 yards before he actually got brought down.
18 yards on the first carry there for Zach Mandera. He'll set up to the left of Warmoth. Trips to the right side. Zymet, Bryant, and Ellis out there. Handed off again. Running right side is Mandera. This time he can't get away. If it had been one jersey, maybe, but he had about 3 white jerseys all over him, and Zach Mandera can't escape. Thomas Mitchell, one of the big boys in there, helping bring down the hard runner, Zach Mandera.
And right there, it seemed like a miscommunication maybe on that offensive line, not realizing it was a handoff, because it seemed like everybody on that defensive line for Canby actually got through that offensive line, almost as if the offensive line purposely let him through for like a screen.
Mandera stays in. He's to the right of Warmoth, but Gillespie has come into the game as they book in Colin Warmoth about a yard behind him in shotgun. Adams and Bryant to the left side of the formation. Low snap. It's going to be a pitch late to Gillespie. First carry for him back after an injury. He dives towards the line of scrimmage. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. I think maybe loses a yard. That play, the low snap really threw everything off, it looked like there for Roseburg.
Yeah, the low snap, and this defensive front for Canby is doing a pretty decent job at getting through the Roseburg offensive line.
Roseburg now faced with 3rd down and long. They've got about 14 yards, make it 13 yards to pick up. Clock down to 1:44 and counting here in the first quarter. Warmoth in shotgun. Mandera stays into his right. Twins either side. They'll move Zymet in motion left to right. Fake the handoff there. Quick pass to Adams. It's caught. He's to the 15. Races up the middle of the field. Gets tackled down to the 5-yard line. And D'Angelo Adams gets his first catch of the night. And it moves the chains as Roseburg will get first down and goal at the 6.
And what Roseburg did is they sent that slot receiver there in motion just to see if they had man coverage on Adams, which they did. And anytime you have man coverage on Adams, it's a perfect time to throw him the ball.
Roseburg will set up 1st and goal from the 6 after the 19-yard completion to Adams. Adams spread out wide to the left side. Trips formation there. They're going to move Mandera to the right side behind Warmoth. Stoffel, the lone receiver, out on the right side. Low snap again. Warmoth picks it up. He slips through some tackles. A spin move, diving to the goal line. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown, Roseburg! And the Indians will retake the lead with 59 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And that was very, very athletic move by Warmoth there to get that spin move in there and continue to fight for that end zone until the whistle was blown.
6-yard touchdown run for Colin Warmoth with 59.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Peyton Bryant out to kick the extra point. A right-footed kicker boots it through, and Peyton Bryant remains perfect on the season on extra points, now 9 for 9 as he makes that one. For Colin Warmoth, that is his 8th rushing touchdown of the season, and he puts Roseburg back in front. Back after a quick 30-second timeout with the remaining 60 seconds in the first quarter on 14:90 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
A big answer after giving up the lead. Roseburg marches down the field 40 yards and gets a 6-yard touchdown run out of Colin Warmoth to retake the lead 14-7. Josh, I want to let you know, and the fans know as well, on that drive, D'Angelo Adams with the catch of 19 yards, moved the chains. That was pretty big, but Adams with those 19 yards now passes the leading receiving total that Roseburg had last year. We've been talking about closing the gap, improving. It's been a much better year for Roseburg this year. Not taking away anything from last year, but Garrett Russell, the leader last year, had 461 yards total. He was the leading receiver for Roseburg. And with that catch, D'Angelo Adams passes him here in 2018. So congratulations, D'Angelo Adams, a big number for him this year. Kickoff is away. It's a short kick to the 30 again for Roseburg, and busting through the line, it's Garrett Zimet again. He has been a special team star. He's made 2 tackles on kickoffs here tonight.
Yeah, the first 2 kickoffs, or this is the 3rd kickoff, I guess, to Canby, and 2 of those 3, he's been able to come up and make a stop right away. Going to D'Angelo Adams, as you were saying, congratulations to him. He did deserve that. He's done a great job. It was a rocky start the first 3 games for him. It seemed like he dropped everything. All of a sudden, the ball starts sticking to his hands, and we can see what he does when he gets in open space.
He has now 468 receiving yards on the year. Shotgun snap to Wakefield, and he will hand it off up the middle, running with the football. That is Jack Shunn once again with the carry. As they started at their own 31, he carries it out to the 37-yard line, a pickup of 6 on first down for Shunn.
And so the last 2 plays, the touchdown by Canby, and then this play here, Canby has now started to spread the field out. They've got 4 receivers now instead of 2 tight ends.
I think traditionally they are kind of a wing T type of offense, but due to injuries and personnel that they have, they've gone to a spread offense at times. It was expected a little bit more of the wing tight end motions, but they have not gone with it. It's an option play, keeper for Wakefield, and he will make his way downfield, paying the price for it, though. In the backfield, getting hit hard was Tyler Mead. He was the option player, and he took a lick, but the option play, the fake, goes well.
The fake did go really well. It actually had me faked out. I was watching Hunter Blix on this side to Tyler Mead, and I was like, wow, that's a good tackle. He stopped, he was able to contain, and he just laid him flat out, and then I realized the ball wasn't right there.
18-yard pickup for Trey Wakefield as he moves the chains and gets into Roseburg territory to finish out the first quarter. 14-7 is our score. Roseburg in front after 1. 12 minutes on the board, and we'll be back for it when we return after this 60-second break here on 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Start out the second quarter. Flop sides of the field now moving right to left is Canby. 1st and 10 from the Roseburg 45 after a long run by Wakefield. They'll hand it off here. First carry of the night for Stephen Dale, who will go short yardage. Contact right at the line of scrimmage. It falls forward for about a 2-yard pickup. Stephen Dale, the senior 5'10", 200-pound running back, getting his first action of the night as we start the second quarter.
And it was Hunter Blix that came through that line, was able to wrap him up and bring him down.
2 yards on the carry for Dale will set up 2nd down and 8. After 1 quarter to play, the Black and Blue Bowl down at Spiegelberg, North Medford, South Medford. A big one there for both of those teams fighting for postseason position. South Medford leading 14-0 after the first quarter. Keeper for the quarterback, design run, slipping through a couple of tackles. Now Wakefield finally goes down. Ethan Stoner jumps on top, helping to make the tackle up there along the front line with Colton Jordan.
And it was number 65, Clayton Braylage, that came through, and he just slipped off of him. He had him completely wrapped up and somehow slipped off. And you could credit that to the rain and the uniforms being wet.
So it'll be 3rd down and 5. Canby will break the huddle. Wearing their road whites, the Navy helmets. Navy numbers on the back as well. Stands out real nice here from the booth. 10:34 to go, and whistles will stop the play. It's going to be a delay of game before the snap for Canby, and that'll back him up, make it 3rd down and long. But there was one kickoff that went out of bounds for a penalty, and now this one here on the procedural penalty, and I think that's all we've seen so far here in the first half.
Yep, absolutely. That is all we have seen in the first half. One by the kickoff by Roseburg, and then one here by Canby.
Backs him up to the 45, which will make it 3rd down and 10. So a costly penalty there for the Cougars as they break the huddle. Standing on the midfield stripe. Wakefield will try to move the chains. He moves Meade in motion. It'll be a keeper again for Wakefield, and things do not open up for him. Penalty flag out at the line of scrimmage, right in the middle of that offensive line. This could be a holding penalty, and that is the initial signal, a holding penalty against Canby, and I imagine Roseburg may decline this one.
Yeah, it is a hold penalty against Canby there. I kind of hated hearing you bring up the penalties, that last comment, because now all of a sudden the laundry starts flying.
Well, the penalty is declined, so Roseburg will force a decision out of Canby, and they bring out the punt unit. Our crew tonight, Bob Moffitt, our referee, Jason McGuire, the umpire, John Woodward, a linesman, Peter James, a line judge, back judge is Scott Epperly, and tonight's the commissioner for the Douglas County Football Officials Association, Roy Palmer. Punt unit out there. Kicking will be Jackson Lindman. The snap goes off his hands. He dives for it. Ball still on the ground, and Roseburg will recover near midfield. It's Rourke Martin on top of it, and Canby cannot get the kick away. Roseburg will have great field position.
Yeah, great field position right there. That's almost like a turnover on downs right there, almost like they went for it on 4th down. You could credit that to the ball being slick, the turf being slick. We don't know how this new turf here actually holds up in the rain. We haven't seen how slick it is or how slick it might be.
So Roseburg will have the ball at their own 49-yard line, right near midfield, with 9:52 to go in the second quarter. Warmouth in shotgun, trips to his left. Roseburg leads 14-7, turns and hands it. No, it's a keeper around the end, spins out of a tackle, dives forward out to the 44 in Canby's half of the field. And the Roseburg Indians will have 2nd down and short on the keeper for Warmouth. And they'll go with no huddle as they go to the 44 and get right to the line of scrimmage. It was a pickup of 7 for Warmouth. He'll hand it off, running up the middle goes Mandera, and he'll move the chains, just following his blocker and carrying a guy on his hip. Mandera able to move the sticks on the far side of the field.
Actually, on that punt, you would credit that as a fumbled snap, so it would be a fumble, so that would be another turnover by Canby.
Another takeaway there for Roseburg. Good point. It might be I guess it was a fumble recovery. I was going to say turnover on downs possibly too. Mandera gets another handoff, running left side of the line He gets out to the 36.5-yard line. Able to squeeze out about 4 yards on that carry. Zach Mandera getting his third, make that his 4th carry of the night. Up to 24 yards on 4 carries. Zach had a tough one last week on the ground after 2 big weeks of running. Looking to try and get back on track this week. He'll get another carry right up the middle, and that Canby front line, credit them. They collapsed on the hole, and there was no room to run for Mandera, taken down right at the line of scrimmage.
It is almost like that Canby front line knows the snap count for Roseburg because they are coming off the ball very, very fast.
Jay Stoffel spread out wide to the right side. 3 targets to the left side. Adams spread out wide. Zymet in the slot, and then inside is Peyton Bryant. Thomas Ruth, the left tackle, communicating with Warmoth a bit there. Now we'll get the snap. Warmoth going to keep it himself, looking to try and take advantage of open field. He'll get down to the 23 and pushed out of bounds. It was man-to-man against Jay Stoffel on the near side. Stoffel just ran his man out of the play, and everything opened up over that right end for Colin Warmoth, and he's easily able to get the first down.
And it's a perfect play call by Roseburg because they have trips, 3 receivers to the short side of the field. It left a lot of open room here for Warmoth to run that ball.
Picks up 13, moves the chains. Roseburg down to the 23-yard line, trying to add to their 7-point lead. Zach Mandera gets the ball. He got squared up by a linebacker over the left end, coming in to make that tackle. That was Rylan Weimer. He squared up Mandera and put him right on his back.
Yeah, that defensive front for Canby is actually pretty impressive, getting off the ball. But they are targeting Mandera. They know how well he ran the first 2 games he was running out, and they are targeting him tonight.
Loses 1 on the play. Roseburg, a lot of shifting here before they set it up. They've got similar play like what we saw before. Zymet moving in motion. He'll get it on the end around, cuts it up the field, got through 1 arm tackle to the 20. He dives forward and is taken down at that 20-yard line. And Zymet will pick up about 4 yards on the carry, and Roseburg facing 3rd down and 6.
And what's interesting on that one, look where Mandera is lined up in the middle of the field. He was all the way on the numbers on the other side, blocking number 38, Weimer, for Canby.
3rd and 6 for Roseburg. Zymet in motion again, low snap for Warmoth. He's going to the end zone for Adams, and he can't quite get there. A penalty flag out, though, from the back judge at the line, or at the goal line. Adams made a nice adjustment, but he had a guy all over him. They seem like fairly close and good coverage, but he just gets his fingertips on him, not enough.
Yeah, Canby's not happy about this call here. I thought he was putting his hands up in the air. I didn't see him actually touching Adams there. And if this is pass interference, it's kind of a close call.
It is a pass interference against Canby, and so Roseburg will get the benefit of a penalty to keep their drive going. 15 yards, and Roseburg will have a fresh set of downs. 3rd penalty since I made that comment against Canby, by the way.
Yep.
Down to the 10-yard line. It's half the distance to the goal, so only a 10-yard penalty against Canby. 1st and goal from the 10, handed off to Mandera. Not a lot of room to run, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage at the 10.
And right there, you've got to get your run game underway to open up that pass game. If this game becomes a passing game, Roseburg could be in trouble.
Clock ticking down to 6 minutes to go in the first half. Low-scoring affair so far, 14-7, Roseburg in front. It's a keeper for Warmoth, trying to outrace the defense. Lost a footing on the turf with the rain starting to pick up again. That artificial turf, newly installed here at Finlay Field, tripping up Colin Warmoth, losing a couple of yards.
Yeah, and people are beginning to slip and slide around just a little bit. Even the defenders bringing them down was slipping right there.
Lost 2 yards. Back to the 12 for Roseburg. 3rd down and goal. They need the end zone here on 3rd down. Mandera to the right of Warmoth, looking to his left. He goes on a quick just a quick seam route for Zymet. The route was there, the pass off the mark.
Yeah, the pass was just behind him. The route was there. Zymet was open. He needed to put that ball in front of him. Instead, Zymet had to stop and try to come back. It was pretty much right there for the defender to pick off.
Colin Wormuth had come in passing at a 58% clip. That's his first incompletion, 2 for 3 tonight. You could also say maybe the ball a little wet as he tried to get rid of that football. The field goal unit will come out. They're kicking from the the 18. So it'll be a 28 attempt, and the snap gets by Wormuth. He's got it in his hands, a stiff arm to get away from a tackle, hucks it to the end zone. It's tipped up, and Mandera can't get to it. Zach was open. The ball didn't get there far enough, and that ball tipped up, but Mandera was already falling to the ground. And Roseburg will turn it over on downs. Great effort from Wormuth to try and make a broken play into a possible touchdown, but they could not convert.
No, and that was a really good play right there. Again, I think that ball is slick coming off because when he threw it in front of Mandera. If he would have just put it a little bit off of it, it would have been right in Mandera's hand.
So the ball will go back to the 12-yard line. Canby will have it back in their hands, trailing 14-7 against Roseburg. 5:15 to go here in the first half of this contest. Up to the line come the Cougars. Wakefield, the quarterback in shotgun, a back to either side around him. He'll give it on the delay handoff. Running with the football is, once again, it's Stephen Dale. And the senior, 200 pounds behind him. He got hit by a couple of guys, Mandera one of them, and he was able to fight back against the strength of Zach Mandera and push that pile for a couple more yards.
Mandera was the first one there. He did help bring him down, but Mandera was busy trying to take the football out of his hands as another guy came in to try to bring him down.
4-yard pickup for Dale, 2nd down and 6 from the 16. In shotgun, Wakefield. Dale to his right, rolling to his right, setting up the lefty, throwing downfield, the jump ball, and it's caught. And just tripping over his own feet, the receiver, Tyler Mead, almost had a chance to break free and have no one in front of him.
And Tyler Mead just had a little bit more hops than Zymet did. Zymet was there defending him. They both jumped at the same time, and the receiver was able to jump higher.
So he gets it out to the Canby 48-yard line on the completion. That is a 32-yard pass play for Wakefield to Mead. And it sets up 1st and 10. Handed off, no keeper again for Wakefield. The juke move going right side. He stepped over a defender and got hit by Zymet at the 50, stopping him after a 2-yard gain.
And Zymet just answered back right there. He came flying in, hitting the quarterback for Canby and bringing him down.
2nd down and 8 now with the ball on the 50. Right hash mark for Canby. 53 and counting. And the Cougars trying to even this one back up at 14. In motion before the snap. Penalty flags out from pretty much every person with a flag in their pocket. And this one will back up Canby as they continue to hurt themselves with penalties here tonight.
And that is number 4, since you said something.
Well, to any Cougar fans that might be listening here tonight online at 541radio.com, we do apologize for jinxing your team. They'll roll the clock with 3:44 to go here in the first half. Trips to the left for the Cougars. Wakefield in shotgun. Rolling to his left, trying to run the option. He'll pitch it late. A dart out to Dale, and he's just going to race downfield and picks up the first down, but a penalty flag out at the end of the play.
And I think that's going to be holding on Canby. It looked like I was pointing it out that Mandera was being held, and it is holding on Canby. Mandera was getting held up there, wasn't being let go so he could come loose, and he was trying to turn his body, and Canby's player was just wrapping him up completely.
They'll mark it from the line of scrimmage or thereabouts. It's a 10-yard penalty back to the 36-yard line now. So back-to-back penalties, and that was a nice little broken play and making it work there for Canby, but hurting themselves. They're back to their own 36-yard line. They've got to get to the Roseburg 42 to try and convert. That is 22 yards to go now for the Cougars on second down. Wakefield in shotgun. He'll roll to his right, looking downfield, sets up the lefty, hucks it downfield. It's short and almost picked off. The receiver turning in to a defender. That one in and out of the hands of Isaiah Moore, who was in a good spot in coverage.
And right there, Isaiah Moore was able to jump higher and knock that ball away. He almost had an interception. He's kind of grabbing his face mask like, oh, I really wish I could have that. But he was still able to knock that ball down, make sure the receiver was not able to bring it in for a catch.
That would have been the first interception of the season for Isaiah Moore. Instead, it goes down as an incompletion. 4 for 8 through the air tonight for Trent Wakefield. Now he's got third down and 22 to try and convert. Meade moves in motion. Snap gets away from the quarterback. He just has to dive on it, and Wakefield will settle down on top of the football back at the 18-yard line. And this Canby drive, one big play, and then everything else going back the wrong direction.
It was a really good big play to start everything off, but once you get a penalty, they do call those drive killers, and that did kill that drive, and everything went wrong after that.
The fumble goes back to the 25, so that's a loss of 11 on the play. Clock running to 2:20. Punt coming here for the Cougars. Low line drive kick, waving for a fair catch. Warmouth will just let it go. And the ball will take a nice Canby roll down towards the 20. It'll come up short at about the 22. So Canby got the hold on Roseburg's last possession, and were able to keep the Indians out of the end zone. They look like they were going to be driving downfield, but their drive stalls out with the penalties, and they give it back, but they do flip the field and give Roseburg a long field to work with 2:09 to go in the first half.
Yeah, you got to give credit to the punter right there on that one, because that was a really, really good punt. Put that inside the 25-yard line on Roseburg, where Roseburg has already showed they can score a one play.
Rain continues to come down here on a cooler night, but not really cold yet. But definitely been a wet one tonight here at Finlay Field. Warmouth in shotgun. He'll move Zymet from right to left across the formation. The snap was low, and just picking it up and running with it will be Warmouth. And he'll get out to about the 26 to pick up 4 yards on the play. And it'll be second down and 6. And Roseburg going quick with the possession as they're right back on top of the line.
Yeah, we're seeing this no huddle, and this is one of the first times since earlier in the season that we've seen this no huddle for Roseburg.
Trips to the left for Warmouth, ball on the right hash mark as the Indians move left to right on your radio dial. Warmouth going to go quick pass out to Bryant. He's got some space. He's to the 30, cuts up field, has the first down, slips out of a tackle, but he can't quite escape. As he gets to the 40-yard line, they'll stop the clock with 1:29 as they move the chains.
And Bryant did a great job there. He had 3 guys. He was able to break 2 tackles before he got tackled by the third and final guy.
14-yard pickup for Bryant. Bryant will set up as the slot receiver to the right side. Jay Stoffel spread out wide, making his return here tonight. He has a touchdown pass. The snap is low, getting the pass away. Bryant's wide open downfield. He's at the 30. He's got no one in front of him. He's running right to the official at the 2. Touchdown, Roseburg! And the Indians will get in to take a 2-score lead just before the half comes to a close. Bryant almost caught from behind, but he's able to just barely squeak it in.
Really, really good play by Bryant. And what Roseburg's taking advantage of is Canby's playing man defense. They are not playing zone. They do not have a safety back. Bryant was able to beat his defender and get back. And as you said, he kept turning around looking instead of just running straight for the end zone. He was worried about the guy coming up from behind and stopping him.
Bryant now to kick the PAT, the right-footed kicker maybe wanting a moment to breathe, but he'll have to put it through, and he stays perfect on the ear as he splits the uprights to make it 21-7. Roseburg in front with 1:11 to go. His second 60-yard-plus touchdown grab of the night. Peyton Bryant puts it in and puts Roseburg out by 2 scores here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here at Finlay Field with 1:11 to go in the second quarter. Roseburg leading 21-7 on top of Canby. Tonight's game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Fisher's Hearth and Home. 1:11 to go in the first half. Roseburg building a lead, 21-7, trying to take a 2-score lead into the halftime break. They'll be kicking away left to right. Peyton Bryant to kick it. He's been more of their deep downfield kicker here, and it's going to go short. Bounces at the 35, still on the ground. Ball still loose. The whistles blew that one dead. The ball was still loose. On the ground, Zymet was there fighting for it, but Canby's going to get the football at the 34, I do believe. I don't think the officials are, I think the officials are just heading to the middle of the field. So it'll be 21-7. Quick note here for you. We were talking about D'Angelo Adams earlier, about how he surpassed last year's leading receiving totals. Well, with the 2 catches for touchdowns of over 60 yards, Peyton Bryant has 137 yards receiving tonight, which puts him over what Garrett Russell had last year. We've got 2 receivers that have gotten more yards than what Garrett Russell, the leading receiver, had last year for Roseburg.
In a season?
In a season.
Wow.
So, in fact, Bryant is almost caught up to D'Angelo Adams as the first down pass for Wakefield, and Canby will get out near the first down marker, and I think they might move the chains here as that ball gets out to the 44. The pass play, good for 10 yards.
An update on that North Medford, South Medford Black and Blue Bowl. South Medford at halftime is up 21-0.
10-yard pickup. Looking to throw again. Wakefield near side, and he overthrows his intended target. Trying to get it to Jaden Brewer. The incompletion stops the clock with 52 seconds to go here in the first half.
And the difference between Roseburg's defense and Canby's defense right now, Canby's playing man coverage in the secondary. Roseburg is playing a zone with a strong safety and a free safety out there.
Second down and 10. Rain's starting to pick up again. I thought it was going to die off as the night was wearing on, but it has been a pretty steady and consistent rain all night so far. Second down and 10, 52.7 seconds to go. Wakefield in shotgun. Quick pass goes to the far side, and it's through the hands of the receiver, intended this time for Brandon Morris. And that ball was on him quick. I think that Wakefield might have gotten that one out a little too early, or his receiver needed to be looking a little faster.
Well, it was on him quick. His receivers, it did look like it touched his hand. His receiver is wearing gloves. The rain and those gloves, these football gloves, make that ball even slicker. So it's really hard to catch.
Timeout down on the field by the Cougars. They'll take their first of this first half. We'll keep it right here. As Josh mentioning some scores from around the Southwest Conference, you've got that Black and Blue Bowl battle for the 3rd seed out of the Southwest Conference. The winner is the 3rd team, and that means that you are automatically into the playoffs. So big game there. South Medford, if they lose, it would probably be okay. They probably still get in. North Medford, they lose, they may not get into the playoffs. So big game there for the Black Tornado. But as you mentioned, South Medford was up big at halftime, right?
Yes, 21-0 at halftime.
Then we also had Sheldon and Grants Pass in the Southwest Conference tonight meeting, and that is for the conference championship. If Grants Pass could upset Sheldon tonight, they would be the champions because of the tiebreaker. If Sheldon can win, they'll have the outright title. The score after the first quarter was 21-0 Sheldon in front of Grants Pass.
21-0?
Yeah. So Sheldon was exerting their dominance on the Southwest Conference in that one.
And I don't think anybody can play Sheldon in the Southwest Conference and really be competitive. to be honest. Sheldon is just a really, really good football team.
Absolutely. Out of the timeout, it's 3rd down and 10 for Canby. 49 seconds to go. Looking to pass. They go a quick route near side. The receiver had gotten behind the defender, Peyton Bryant, who goes for the tip, jumping up trying to get to the football. But behind him, he had Jaden Brewer, and it just slipped through Brewer's hands. He could not get a handle on it.
And Roseburg, Bryant's really happy, or lucky, I should say, that he was able to, the receiver wasn't able to catch that ball, because otherwise it may have gone for a touchdown.
Peyton Bryant will switch out with Warmouth to go deep to return a punt. 43 seconds to go here in the first half, and that kick is going to possibly trap Roseburg back on their own, inside their own 5. They're going to have to be careful here. We have not seen Roseburg go under center for a snap all season, and with 34.9 seconds to go in the first half, Roseburg's going to be snapping the ball from their own 2, and it's raining pretty good. We've seen plenty of low snaps. A dangerous spot here for Roseburg.
Yes, definitely a dangerous spot. If I was Roseburg with 34.9 seconds left, they are up by 2 touchdowns. I would almost want to take a knee, but if you're going to take a knee, you've got to pay attention to where you're at.
Well, yeah, they're at their own 2-yard line. Kind of hard to take a knee when you're basically snapping it into your own end zone. So Roseburg will set up at their own 2. Got to imagine it's going to be a couple of run plays right into the line, one run play right into the line, and then see where they go from there.
There may be some trickery, too, because it looks like Warmouth and Stoffel both coming off the bench after talking to the coach.
Stoffel will spread out wide to the near side. That's the right side of the formation. And
he did take a knee.
It was Warmouth taking a knee right at the 1-yard line. He was under center, actually, and took the knee, and that should wrap up the first half. Canby does not appear to be taking any timeouts. Clock is running. Now they're trying to stop the clock. It's going to be a timeout. There they stop the clock. Timeout taken by Canby. They're going to force Roseburg to take another one. We'll go ahead and take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be back with the final snap possibly of this first half here on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here for the final 15.3 seconds here in the first half. Roseburg leading 21-7. Joey Kieran, Josh Nelson with you from Finlay Field. The wet one here tonight. But Roseburg trapped up against their own end zone, trying to make sure they get into halftime without giving up any points here. Warmouth is going to be under center for a second straight snap, but he is right on the end zone. And he's going to try and sneak it out. He'll fall forward, just gets out of the end zone. That one was tight, and he will get enough yardage to get out of the end zone and can be backing up. I think they are going to say they are not calling a timeout. And there we go into the first half. Roseburg will take a 2-score lead, 21-7 into the halftime break, trying to wrap up the 2018 season here at Finlay Field with a victory against the Canby Cougars. A battle in the first half. We'll see what the second half has for us as the teams head to the locker room for halftime. Coming up, we will have the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. Stay with us. We'll recap the first half, get you some stats, scores, and plenty more as Roseburg leads 21-7 at the break here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
We welcome you back here to Finlay Field, where the Roseburg Indians currently lead 21-7 on top of the visiting Canby Cougars. It's halftime. This is your Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins with great low rates. Give them a call at 673-0363. I'm already jumping ahead to the post-game show. 21-7 is our score. Roseburg in front here on what is the regular season finale, homecoming night, and senior night. And at halftime, we get entertained by the Roseburg Marching Band. They put on quite the performance. Noir Alley. And they've got the narration and everything that goes along with it if you wonder what the noises are in the background. A couple of the young ladies out there for the marching band appear to be in some rather nice dresses. The flag team has some young ladies looking very nice, but it looks like some of the marching band members that could be possibly named the homecoming queen tonight. They named the homecoming king earlier this week at the Powder Puff game on Thursday. Roseburg senior wide receiver D'Angelo Adams was named the homecoming king for Roseburg here in 2018. And tonight they'll name the homecoming queen, so we'll have that coming up here at halftime as well. But our score 21-7. Looking at the first half of this one, Roseburg took a 7-0 lead on their first play from the line of scrimmage as it was a double pass. Colin Warmoth, a lateral to Jay Stoffel, making his return to the field after getting injured in the season opener. Stoffel, his first play is a 63-yard touchdown pass to Peyton Bryant. A double pass there, and Roseburg gets on the board 7-0. Couple of possessions later, after Roseburg had an interception, they couldn't cash in. Canby would get it back. They'd polish off a 9-play drive with a 12-yard touchdown run, and that would be by a 12-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Trent Wakefield. He connected with Risden Miller for the score, tied up the game at 7-all in the first quarter. But Roseburg, with 60 seconds left to go in the first quarter, was able to score again a 6-yard keeper from quarterback Colin Warmoth. He kind of had to scramble out of the pocket after a low snap, and he was able to get across the goal line, putting Roseburg up 14-7 in the first quarter. Roseburg would stretch their lead in the second quarter on a touchdown pass from Warmoth. This time he connects with Peyton Bryant, and it's a 60-yard touchdown grab for Peyton Bryant. Got well behind the defense and was off to the races as he gets across the end line. So Roseburg leads 21-7 here at the halftime break. And Josh, it definitely a great way to start out this game for Roseburg. Had to battle. You go into a game with a team that hasn't won a game all year in Canby, and you could see a team maybe coming into it and getting a little bit complacent. thinking they have this one in the bag just because the other team on the other side hasn't won a game. We know this Canby team comes out of a conference, the Three Rivers League, that is very tough. In fact, every team in that Three Rivers League is going to get into the playoffs except for Canby, and that is 6 other teams. It's a very tough conference. But Canby, a team that's been tested this season, and they showed some mettle out there here tonight, not rolling over for Roseburg despite Roseburg coming out with some tricks early, scoring early, and holding a lead in this one. Canby has been battling against the Indians here tonight.
No, and Canby does not look defeated right now either. Their head is still up. They are still here to play a football game, and they don't care if it's the last game of the season for them. They are going to come out here and try to get the win, and Roseburg has to, like I said, play all 4 quarters of this game. They've done a great job so far the first 2 quarters. Now they've got to finish it, quarter number 3 and quarter number 4.
All right. It's 21-7 our score here at the halftime break. The band out on the field entertaining us here at the halftime break. We'll have more of them coming up, as well as a look at some of the stats from tonight's game. That is your Umpqua Dairy Stat Update, your local dairy since 1931. Tonight's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans, now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue. It's the Cougars Pest Control halftime show. Back after this break here on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Tribal Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
21-7 our score here at the break. Your Cougars Pest Control halftime show rolls right along. So does the Roseburg Marching Band. And again, we will have the homecoming queen announced here during halftime as well. We'll try to get a name on that and announce it for you if possible. You want to know how I know the turf is slippery there, Josh?
How?
One of the saxophonists just took a tumble out there. Can't be easy. All that gear, I mean, it's tough enough to be wearing football pads out there. At least those are built to try and be easy to run around in. I can't imagine these band uniforms are all that great when you're weighed down with all the water they've got going on right now. And they're not in cleats. They're in regular dress shoes.
That's what I was going to say, is they're not wearing cleats. They're wearing a black type of dress shoe that doesn't really have a bunch of grip on it, even on pavement.
Yeah. So I don't blame somebody for losing a little bit of footage on that one. And it's not like it's just wandering around. They are moving sharply across the field as well. Our score at halftime, 21-7. Roseburg in front of Canby. Let's take a look at your Umpqua Dairy Stat Update. Some of your stats from the first half of tonight's ball game. For Canby, quarterback Trent Wakefield, 12 attempts in that first half. He had 5 completions on 12 passing attempts for 87 yards and a touchdown and an interception. His passes going, Tyler Mead with 3 catches, 52 yards. Risden Miller, 2 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, Jack Shunn, the junior running back, 9 carries, 25 yards. Wakefield, the quarterback, using his feet quite a bit, 6 carries, 13 yards. And Stephen Dale out of the backfield, 2 carries for 6 yards. On the other side for the Roseburg Indians, Colin Warmouth is 4 for 6 through the air for 99 yards and a touchdown. Jay Stoffel, 1 pass completed for 63 yards and a score. Zach Mandera, 7 carries, 24 yards on the ground. Colin Warmouth, 9 carries, 28 yards and a touchdown. Doran Gillespie back tonight. He's only had 1 carry and unfortunately went for a loss of 1 yard. Garrett Zymet, 1 carry, 4 yards on the ground so far for Roseburg. Through the air, Roseburg's receivers, 3 catches, 137 yards, and 2 scores for Peyton Bryant tonight. The junior having a big night offensively. D'Angelo Adams, 1 catch for 19 yards, and Carson Ellis, a catch for 6 yards. The senior getting in on the action early on in this one. At halftime, 21-7 is your score. We will get ready for the second half coming up. We'll talk about what the Roseburg Indians need to do to try and polish off a win tonight here against Canby. But before we take our final break of the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show, and again, you can give them a call for great low rates and take care of all your bug problems. 673-0363, that is Cooper's Pest Control. Let's go ahead and take a look at some scores from other scores of note from around the area tonight. We've got high school football, a lot of big games going on this evening for other teams around the Umpqua Basin. Everybody trying to get into the postseason, and a lot of teams still had a chance to do so tonight. Josh has been collecting scores. What do we got so far for it?
So right now at halftime, I have Sutherland up big on Sluislaw, 45-0 at halftime. This is for first place in the conference, a 3-way tie, I believe.
Harrisburg and Sandy Am Christian and Sutherland all tied for first at the moment. Siuslaw is in last place. They're winless on the season, so Siuslaw not playing for first, but Sutherland, a win there, keeps them in contention for first. It would also hopefully help improve their power ranking and see if they can maybe secure home field advantage for a couple of games in the postseason. But big one there for Sutherland early on.
Yep, and as you said, they have secured a playoff already. And then I have a Oak Ridge at Yoncalla. This game's already final. Oak Ridge 22, Yoncalla 42. So Yoncalla did win it. It was their senior night tonight down there at Yoncalla, but that is as far as their season's going. Now I have Siletz at Elkton. Elkton won big, 62-0 against Siletz. That's for them going on and continuing.
That was one of those 1A crossover games. The 1A division, they've got the divisions broken down into north and west, north and south, east and west, so different divisions. And then the district, they've got the crossover. The number 2 from the east takes on the number 3 from the west. The number 3 from the east takes on the number 2 from the west. They meet up in that crossover, and the winners get 4 playoff bids total. The 2 number 1s get in, and then the winners of those crossover games get in. So Elkton, the number 2 in theirs, winning. That means they're in the playoffs. Congratulations to the Elks.
Yep, and that was, as I did not say, it is the final 2 for Elkton. So congratulations to them. I also have Glendale at North Lake. This one is also a final. Glendale 50, North Lake 28. So Glendale, their season ended, but it ended with a win. So very congratulations to Glendale on getting that final win. Unfortunately, they are not going to the playoffs this year. Camas Valley has a bye this week because they are one of those number 1 teams.
Camas Valley has already clinched their spot.
And then right now in Southwest Conference play, I have North Medford at South Medford Black and Blue Bowl. North Medford is losing to South Medford. North Medford 0, South Medford 21 at halftime. And then Grants Pass at Sheldon for the Southwest Conference Championship. Grants Pass has not shown up at all. Sheldon has gone their way all the way through. Sheldon 35, Grants Pass 0. And I'm not sure if that's at half or what, it should be pretty close to half on that one. Major League Baseball, Red Sox at Dodgers for Game 3 of the World Series. Right now it is top of the ninth, tied 1-1. And then, let's see, I've got Pac-12 football going on again tonight.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
All right, and it is the end of the first quarter going into the second quarter, and UCLA is up 7-3
on
Utah.
Oh, wow. Now, that is an impressive score there. That was not one I was expecting. We do have the homecoming queens getting announced down on the field. For those that might be watching at 541radio.com, you can check them out. Of course, homecoming night, getting crowned a queen, and all the lovely young ladies out there in their best, looking very nice tonight. Unfortunately, they got to stand out there in the rain. But I don't know if we can. Let's see real quick if we can hear the PA.
And the 2018 homecoming queen is Hannah Bartlett.
Hannah Bartlett is your 2018 homecoming queen. Oh, there she is down there. I was looking around. I didn't see anybody coming out to crown her. And there she is, though. Hannah Bartlett is your 2018 homecoming queen. And she will be paired up with D'Angelo Adams, the 2018 homecoming king. He's in the locker room as he looks to finish out his senior season here with the Roseburg Indians. Congratulations to Hannah and D'Angelo as being named homecoming king and queen here in 2018. That'll wrap up our halftime show brought to you by Cooper's Pest Control. When we come back, we'll start looking towards the second half to see what the Roseburg Indians need to do to try and secure a victory tonight against the Cougars. Back after this on CBS Sports Radio, 1490, The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Almost time for the second half kickoff as the Roseburg Indians lead 21-7 on top of the visiting Canby Cougars, our regular season finale here. Tonight's football game brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages and by our friends at I-5RV. Visit I-5RV and find your new adventure for as low as 0% down and $149 a month. I-5RV in Sutherland now under new management. Did not mention there during the halftime show, but want to let everybody know. Stick around for the post-game show. We'll, of course, wrap up all the game, get you all the final stats, and we'll name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. So stick around for that. We'll have that coming up for you in just a little while. As we get ready for the second half, it's been a wet one. Kind of starting to subside a bit. It's still drizzling just a little here at Finlay Field. Very easy to see as we sit here in the booth against the dark night sky and the lights shining down. You can kind of see the rain droplets coming down. It's been a wet one. We've seen some issues with low snaps. We've seen the ball on the ground a little bit. It's getting a little bit cold, down to about 59 degrees here in Roseburg. As you look at the second half, Josh, what are some of the things you think about that the Roseburg Indians need to do to make sure they leave tonight with a win?
Roseburg just needs to sit there and finish this game. They need to play the exact same way they played the first 2 quarters. They need to continuously try to get into the end zone, but they need to keep Canby out of the end zone, obviously.
As we make our way through this one, we will be talking about the fact that this game has playoff implications for the Roseburg Indians. You may see them at 3-6 if they win here tonight and think, how's a team like that get into the postseason? It's the system we have. Teams that are 3-6 make it into the postseason. Sometimes we've seen teams with even worse records get in. It's the system we have. That's what we use. So we are hoping that Roseburg can get that extra week, and I think we all know one more week of practice for this Roseburg team is going to be beneficial. Not only do the seniors get an extra week of practice to try and, just a little bit more time for the seniors to be out there playing football, continuing their high school careers, but the juniors that'll be seniors next year get a taste of the postseason. The sophomores, the freshmen, the whole program will get extra time to practice. Everybody gets a little bit more time during the season, and it's beneficial to everybody. So obviously, while you may look at it, Roseburg with their record, you may say teams like that don't deserve to be in the postseason. I may not necessarily completely disagree with you, but that is the way the system is made, and that's what you deal with, and that's how it works. So Roseburg will take advantage of an extra week of practice and a chance to be in the postseason if they are given that. They may go up to a team out of the Portland area and might have a lopsided matchup on their hands, but it's going to be invaluable experience for this team coming up at the end of the season. Now, to get there, that could be a different story. Tonight we are keeping our fingers crossed that the power rankings stay in our favor. Roseburg right now at number 30. The assumption is they'd have to be 32 or higher to be able to get into the postseason. And so we'll be waiting to see. The rankings freeze at 10 o'clock tonight, but usually it takes a little bit longer than that for all the final scores to get to the OSAA and for their calculations to be run. So we'll all be watching late until the night tonight to find out if the Roseburg Indians will, in fact, have a game coming up next week. Win or lose here tonight.
Well, Roseburg definitely needs to win this game to get a chance to go in. We did talk about different scenarios today on Off the Wall and different things that could happen that we'll be rooting for. One of the games that we wanted to be rooting for was the Bend Mountain View. Mountain View kind of fell out of that top spot.
They're at 31
all
now.
The way at 31, and Bend was up there at what?
19.
So if you're a Roseburg fan, you should be rooting for Bend right now. Unfortunately, at halftime, Mountain View is up 17-0 on Bend, which is actually kind of surprising. It is a crosstown rivalry, so there is a lot that goes into that game. It's not just like any other rivalry game. So that is a huge thing right there. So Roseburg, they need to win, and I would say they need to come out and win convincingly, too, on top of that.
It'd be helpful. I don't know if it really changes anything with the rankings, but at least it looks better if they can win convincingly. A couple other score updates here. 28-0, middle of the third quarter. South Medford still putting it on North Medford, 28-0. And 42-6 at halftime. Sheldon is in front of Grants Pass.
I've got a couple other on that, too. South Umpqua and Douglas playing. It's 8-0 Douglas.
Oh.
And then Jefferson at Oakland. Jefferson 21, Oakland 18 at half.
All right, some scores there. Kickoff is away. Canby will put it deep to Roseburg at the 20. D'Angelo Adams has it. He races to the right side, gets to the edge. He's got great speed to the 45 to 50. He can't stay in bounds, but he'll return it into Canby territory, and Roseburg will have a short field to work with to start out the third quarter. We have seen D'Angelo Adams' speed on display all season long, have not seen him do much in the return game, but there he almost got free, and if not for one last bump on the edge, he might have been down that sideline for a kickoff return.
Yeah, and he did a great job flipping the field there, putting it in Roseburg's favor, bringing it on this side of the 50, going in for Roseburg. It's a way to start out the second half.
Sets him up at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for Roseburg. Canby's half of the field. Warmith in shotgun. He moves Zymet from left to right. He'll give it to the sophomore, and he looked like he was going to pass. He tucks it in and runs. He'll fall forward. Only a short gain on first down out to the 43. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. Zymet was the JV quarterback before getting called up to varsity pretty much full time with injuries and suspensions this year for Roseburg. So Zymet's another guy that we know can throw the ball deep. So that almost dialed up there, but Roseburg goes with the run play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. They break the huddle. Turn and hand it. It's Gillespie, the junior, running up the middle. following Mandera, who is in as a fullback. He gets it to the 39, and Roseburg will have 3rd down and 3 here on their first drive of the second half.
And right there, that first play with Zymet, I want to go back to it. That first play with Zymet there of the half was just kind of like their first play of the first quarter for Roseburg. A little bit of trickery. They knew what would happen if they threw the ball, so they wanted to act like they weren't going to throw it, instead keep the ball and run.
See if they could maybe get Canby afraid of that trick play once again. Another look. Had a man wide open. There is a penalty flag out. Warmoth trying to escape pressure in the backfield. He gets crunched. Goes down. A penalty flag out from the middle of the field to the 41. Warmoth is going to lose 2 yards. His helmet sort of came off. He might have taken it off so that he could pull his do-rag off. And we'll see what the penalty flags will inflict here on what was a 3rd down play that goes for negative yards.
Yeah, Warmoth was grabbing his face mask as if he was pulled with the face mask, and that may have been what the back judge saw there, was a face mask being pulled at the end of the play. I'm not sure about the first penalty. It was thrown by the white hat, and he let the play continue. I don't know if there was an offsides or something.
We'll wait to hear here. Illegal participation by Roseburg, and then a personal foul, helmet to helmet against Canby. The penalties will offset. It'll remain 3rd down and 3 for Roseburg.
Interesting.
Our crew again here tonight from the Douglas County Football Officials Association. Bob Moffitt, the referee, Jason McGuire, the umpire. Linesman is John Woodward, line judge Peter James, back judge Scott Epperly, and the Douglas County Football Officials Association Commissioner Roy Palmer. 3rd down and 3 from the 39. Looking to pass, they'll go on the inside slant route, and it was that bubble screen back towards the line of scrimmage for D'Angelo Adams with defenders in on him. Colin Warmoth fires a little bit high for D'Angelo Adams there. If he's able to bring that ball down a bit, Adams might have had a chance at converting.
Yeah, and they try to go with that inside screen, and they kind of backed off of that the last couple of weeks. They only run it about 1 time a game. We'll see if they try to go to it again.
Got a coach out there for Roseburg trying to run a fresh football out there. Rains have pretty much started to stop here at Finlay Field. They get the fresh football out there. Roseburg will be going for it on 4th down and 3. Mandera and Gillespie in the backfield. Ellis, the lone target to the near side, looking to pass. Warmoth going to tuck it and run. Didn't see anything open. He gets tripped up in the backfield. He'll lose yardage. And Colin Warmoth will get taken down on a turnover on downs, a loss of 2. And Canby's defense coming up with a big hold to start out the 3rd quarter.
And that's a huge turnover on downs on Roseburg's side right there. Aaron, Canby's fired up. They are not out of this game yet, and Roseburg needs to play as if they're going to come out here and try to beat them.
10:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Canby will get the football at their own 41. After the great return by D'Angelo Adams, Roseburg only able to manage 5 yards before turning it over on downs. The offense comes back out for Canby. Trent Wakefield, the senior quarterback, will lead him back out there. To his left will be Jack Shunn, the junior running back. 2 targets to the left side. Give the ball to Shunn, the running back. He's a little load to carry. And he goes over the right side. Will pick up about 4, and a late penalty flag out.
And that's on Ethan Stoner right there.
And the offensive lineman, Thomas Mitchell, was way down the field, and now Shunn is slow to get up. In fact, he is still on the turf. Roseburg's got some of their coaches on the field yelling. Roseburg's defense wasn't very pleased with the penalty flag out. We'll wait to see what the call is, but, man, I don't know how Thomas Mitchell got 15 yards downfield blocking there on that front line when the play was back at the 45. He was down at the 45 on the other half of the field.
Well, he was like the blindside guy trying to sit there and say, I'm taking you to the bus. And Ethan Stoner didn't like it very much. The play was dead, and Ethan Stoner pushed him in the back after he had turned his back to walk back towards the formation, and that's when the referee threw the flag.
Not a great sign for Jack Shunn, the junior running back who had done most of the carries tonight for Canby. He is limping off the field, favoring his right ankle, and he will get some extra help. Personal foul on that last play. It is against Canby, but it looks like it's going to be offsetting penalties. And that has got Coach Heiberger out on the field yelling at the officials. Also had Roseburg's defense really not happy as well. They did not like the call of the offsetting penalties. Ball's at the 41, and we'll replay first down. Clock will start, 10:01 and counting. Coach Heiberger still yelling at Bob Moffitt, the referee here tonight. And Heiberger will have to walk himself back to the sideline. Offense stays out there. Back in at running back will be Stephen Dale after Jack Shunn goes out with the injury. Dale sets up to the left of Wakefield, hands it off to him. He goes into the middle of the pile and will get close to the 44 and almost to the 45-yard line. Pickup of about 3 on that first down carry. Now, Josh, you and I were here for the JV game before this one, and I don't know if emotions from the JV game carry over into the varsity game because usually you don't have a lot of the same players on the field. But there was a bit of a melee in that JV game towards the end between a few Roseburg players and a Canby player, and it seems like the chippiness has carried over into this varsity contest.
Yeah, and you would expect that with Canby coming in. They want to win on this season, or their season's done after tonight, and they want to win.
Looking to pass, Wakefield going to go far side. He just lost it to no one. It's picked off by Isaiah Moore, and he's got some space to run. Down that far sideline, he'll get out of bounds at about the 20. No penalty flags out. I know you were pointing at a possible block that might have been a little bit dangerous, but no penalty flags out, and Isaiah Moore missed an interception in the first half. Finally gets his first of the season here in the second.
Very, very impressive play by Isaiah Moore, and I'm impressed with the secondary of Roseburg. All of the defenders are turning around and looking at the ball. They're looking at the quarterback's eyes, trying to figure out where he's going to throw the ball, so they all have a beat on the ball. So anytime that ball is passed, Roseburg has a chance for an interception.
Third turnover of the night for Canby comes with 8:46 to go here in the third quarter. Roseburg has it at the Canby 24-yard line. Every play has been in Canby territory. In the backfield, Zach Mandera is going to go down, a tackle for loss. And this front line from Canby has been very aggressive and in the backfield. This running game for Roseburg has not really gotten off.
No, it hasn't, and it's that offensive line. And I think one of the things is Canby's doing a great job at coming off the snap. And those snaps that you saw, I don't contribute that just to the rain and the water as it can starting to rain again right now. I think the center's getting a little worried with that defensive line coming off the ball so fast.
Riley Culberhouse, the senior, he's been a couple of year starter at that center position. Has the towel on his backside to keep the football dry, as you mentioned. The rain starting again. The screen, they try to set it up. It goes to Zymet. He's wide open. He's at the 10. He angles to the far pylon, diving for the end zone. Touchdown, Roseburg! Penalty flag down in the backfield as well. I think that's going to be roughing the passer. Roseburg in to the end zone to make it 27-7, pending that penalty flag.
Great catch by Zymet, but there was a great block over here by an offensive lineman. I didn't catch who it was, but he stayed in place and waited for the defender. Defender turned around. He was right there and blocked him out. It was great. And that is a roughing the passer call. And now they're trying to determine what they're going to do.
I was wondering if they might assess it on the kickoff. I think the official initially said that the penalty was declined. So they, I think, are going to move them back on the kickoff, if I'm not mistaken here. So it was roughing the passer.
It will be enforced on the kickoff, I think.
27-yard touchdown strike for Colin Warmouth to Garrett Zymet, his second touchdown of the season. And for Zymet, that's his first receiving touchdown. He had a rushing touchdown earlier on. So Roseburg puts 6 more on the board, leads 27-7 with 7:52 to go in this third quarter. Pending the extra point here from Peyton Bryant. Right-footed kicker is no good. He misses it just right, and that'll be the first missed extra point of the season for Peyton Bryant. But Roseburg still leads by 20, 27-7 here in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and be back after this on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Here in rainy Roseburg, the score now 27-7. The Roseburg Indians on top of the visiting Canby Cougars. They'll be kicking away in Canby territory after the penalty, which was assessed on the kickoff here after the play was done. Roseburg drawing a roughing the passer penalty as they got away the screen pass all the way to the end zone for a 27-yard touchdown strike.
And that's the second time they've ran that inside screen, and only about the 4th time they've ran it now in 3 games.
Roseburg will be kicking the ball from the Canby 45. They're on the other side of the 50 here. Real short field to work with. Peyton Bryant will be the kicker. We'll see what Roseburg tries to do here. They will kick it deep, and this one's into the end zone and out the back, as Bryant will just kick it for a touchback. Canby will have the football at their own 20-yard line. Roseburg football tonight brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County.
It looks like on that Sheldon game, Sheldon's up now 42-6 at half.
Well, starting to run away with it there, and that means the Irish likely running away with the Southwest Conference Championship.
Which they completely deserve and they earned completely. They played a really tough schedule, top team out of Washington, and they lost to Lake Oswego, I believe, by 2.
So it'll be interesting to see what the Irish can do in the postseason coming up. They've got a very talented team with a lot of star-studded players. Offense comes out for Canby. They'll set up 1st and 10 from their own 20. Tied in to the left of the formation with that wing back out there as well. Looking to pass, new man in the backfield, going downfield, lofting it up, and it's another pick for Isaiah Moore, and he loses his balance as he goes down at the 40, but Isaiah Moore picks off the Cougars a second straight time. Into the backfield was Andrew Peters, the junior quarterback, trying to go deep downfield, and it's another interception for Roseburg, their 4th takeaway of the night.
And very good. As you saw, all of Roseburg's defenders on that play had their eyes turned after about 15 yards, looking to see where the quarterback was throwing, and Moore just tracked that ball and was able to jump higher than the receiver and take that ball away.
So Roseburg now gets the ball at the Canby 40-yard line. 7:45 to go here in the third quarter. And that was a quick turn of events. The offense back out on the field. A low snap, pick it up, hand it off to Gillespie. He'll try to get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll get it at, they started at the 41 is where they officially marked it. So about a 1-yard carry for Doran Gillespie is he's having some issues finding some room to run so far, but only a couple of carries on the books for him at the moment.
That front line for Canby has been really good today, filling the gaps and pretty much stopping that run. Unless it's an inside screen or a run by Warmith, they're pretty much shutting down that middle run.
Ellis and Bryant to the right side. Adams and Herskovitz to the left. It's a quick pass to Ellis, and he started out the season as more of a tight end. He's been used as a wide receiver as of late. That pass was low. He wasn't able to bring it in. Incompletion stops the clock with 7:05 to go here in the third quarter, and Roseburg will be facing 3rd down and a long 9.
And still, at this point in the game, with 7:05 left in the third, Roseburg up 27-7. Canby still has not lowered their heads. They are trying to stay in this game, realizing this is their last game of the season.
Roseburg needing to convert here. On the near side, Stoffel, Bryant, and Herskovitz. Adams alone to the left side. In the backfield is Gillespie. Low snap again for Warmith, rolling to his right. Pressure, he'll step up into the pocket, lowers his head, just dives back to the 49. And the pressure from that front line from Canby, trapping Colin Warmoth in the backfield. Nowhere to go with the football, and Roseburg sends out the punt unit.
And right there, you kind of hope on those turnovers. Roseburg's been fairly decent this year at getting turnovers in games, but getting points off of those turnovers, Roseburg does not do the best, and you're really hoping at this point in the game that Roseburg can make some points off of turnovers.
Colin Warmoth deep to punt. We might be careful. Roseburg's already pulled out some trickeration. A blitzer almost gets through. Warmoth gets the kick away, angles it to the far sideline, and it's a nice kick as it goes out about the 10-yard line. And Roseburg will trap Canby back at their own 10. Canby will have the football for a third time here in the second half, but so far, I don't really think the ball has gotten back onto Roseburg's half of the field. After the kickoff to start out this second half by D'Angelo Adams, the ball has been on Canby's half of the field almost the entire time.
Yeah, this defense is playing lights out for Roseburg. They're doing a great job keeping Roseburg in this game, and they're making up for Roseburg not being able to get that run game started.
Canby's offense comes back out. Last time we saw Andrew Peters in the backfield at quarterback. And it'll be Wakefield once again out there. He'll hand it off. Zach Mandera comes in to make the stop on the running back, Stephen Dale. I do not believe we have seen Jack Shunn back into the game after leaving with an ankle injury a little while ago.
No, we haven't seen him back in yet. Mandera was the first man there, and as Mandera tries to do, he tries to use his strength to rip away that ball as another 2 or 3 Roseburg players come in to bring down the ball carrier.
The run went out to the 13-yard line for Dale. He'll pick up 3. Second down and 7 for the Cougars. A pass out into the flats for Meade. He makes a step back towards the middle of the field but can't get away from the defensive pressure. Help defense coming back. The ball to the 14. Only picks up about 1 on the pass play. And it'll be third down and long now for the Cougars.
And what Roseburg ran on that defensive play was a cover 2. They've got 2 safeties. They're playing them deep. And then they've got 2 guys sitting on top of each receiver. 1 guy on top of each receiver.
Third down and 5 to go. A long 5 to go now for the Cougars. Looking to pass. Wakefield gets the throw away, but it's through the hands of the intended receiver. That one expected downfield. Jackson Lindman cannot hold on to the football, and it's a chance now for the Roseburg Indian to force a 3 and out.
And if Lindman did catch that ball, I don't think he was going anywhere. Zymet and Warmoth were both tracking and reading that play, and we're closing in on him, and we're closing in on him fast.
So the punt unit will come out. The man that was the intended receiver, Jackson Lindman, will now try and punt it away. The snap was high. He had to back up into the end zone. He does get a handle on it. The ball comes loose, and Canby's on top of it. Colin Warmoth can't hold on to the football, and Canby's going to get it back out at their own 38-yard line. And some pushing and shoving going on, and Isaiah Moore's in the middle of that, and a penalty flag comes out, and now some more talking, and now more flags come out as well.
Yeah, it was Warmoth and Canby's player that recovered the ball. They were going back and forth, and he was just swinging his hands wildly. Not Warmoth. Canby's player was swinging his hands pretty wildly, and Warmoth's like, hey, dude, what's going on here? And that's when the flag came out.
Canby's going to have possession of the football back at the 41. With 4:49 to go here in the third quarter as we figure out these penalties. Dead ball penalty. Unsportsmanlike against Canby and unsportsmanlike against Roseburg. It will be first down for Canby on the fumbled punt by Colin Warmoth.
And that would be Roseburg's first turnover of the game, minus the turnover on down earlier.
Canby should have the football. I thought they initially said that it was going to be Canby football.
He did say it was Canby's ball.
Canby, though, still saying that we recovered the football. I guess Roseburg's offense started to make their way out on the field. So it will be the football for the Cougars. We've had so many offsetting penalties here tonight. It's been kind of crazy. Things have definitely been chippy.
Yeah, and I think it's because there's so much on the line for Roseburg, for one, and then for Canby. There's a lot on the line. They want their seniors to walk away with a win. You don't want to walk out on your senior class with no wins on your football season. And so I can see how it could get chippy. There's a lot to play for this Canby team, even though they're not going to the playoffs.
Yes, I can guarantee it's not fun to be a senior and go out with a winless season. I can attest to that one.
Well, I didn't know about your senior season, but I never had that problem. I just know I wouldn't want that at all, and it would become pretty chippy and pretty emotional if in the third quarter with 4:49 left you were trailing 27-7.
Yeah, I can understand that. Totally, you're right on every account from personal experience. 4:49 to go in the third quarter. Canby with the football after Roseburg's first turnover of the game. They start at their own 38-yard line. It's Wakefield in at quarterback. He'll turn and hand it running up the middle. Zach Mandera comes in to fill the gap, and he'll stop Stephen Dale at the 40, a pickup of about 2 on that first down carry.
And Zach Mandera got to the gap about as fast as the Canby ball carrier got there as well, and they met head on, and Zach Mandera was able to overpower and bring him down.
Second down and 8 for the Cougars as they head up to that front line. The center, Peyton Martin, will find the clean grip on the football as he goes for the shotgun snap. The running back to the right of Wakefield. He'll look to his right, passes out that direction, and it's off the hands of the receiver, intended for Jaden Brewer, and he almost made life more difficult for himself jumping up to get to that football on a pass that it didn't really seem like he needed to.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he needed to, and then jumping up, and with it raining outside, the ball being wet, you just can't do that. Keep your feet on the ground, track the ball in, and catch it.
Makes it third down and 8 for the for the Canby Cougars. Roseburg's defense trying to force another punt out of the Cougars. Last time they punted, Colin Warmoth couldn't field it, and the turnover gave the ball back to the Cougars. Wakefield in shotgun, looking to run the option. He'll make the late pitch to Dale. He's got the room for the first down across midfield and into Roseburg territory. The ball will cross the 50 for the first time here in the second half. And Canby will move the chains, and they keep the drive alive.
And it was a very, very well-read play by Wakefield to pitch that ball away. He saw the defensive end coming in, and that's the problem with the zone. As you're playing zone, everybody's playing back. There's nobody else there to pick up that running back.
13 yards on the carry there for Stephen Dale, the option working. First and 10 from the Roseburg 47. Dale will get it this time right up the middle, and hard runner low to the ground. He gets across the 45 down to about the 43, and making a pickup of about 4 on that first down carry. Down to the 44. 30 yards on the ground tonight now for Stephen Dale. Clock down to 3:23 to go. Roseburg leading 27-7 here at home against Canby. Roseburg trying to keep their postseason dreams alive and win their third game at home. Snap. And it is the quarterback keeper. That ball might have come loose. Stumbling to get back on top of it at the 50. I think they're going to say that Wakefield stays on it. He had the option, and I wasn't sure if he had held on to the football or not. He did, and it looked like it came loose.
It looked like what happened was when he went to hand it off, he decided at the last second he was going to keep it. And when he pulled away, the ball fumbled around, and then it bounced off the turf and back into his hands as he was tackled.
So it'll make it third down and long. Ball back at the 50-yard line. They've got to get it down to the 37. About 13 yards to pick up here. Wakefield, the lefty, looking to throw. Gets hit as he throws. Launches it deep. It goes through the hands of Colin Warmoth. Couldn't come up with the interception. Wakefield got hit on the blind side as he was releasing the football. The incompletion will make it fourth down and 13 with 2:20 to go in the third quarter. The ball at midfield.
And I think right now you've got this at fourth down. If you're Canby, this may be 4-down territory, and it kind of looks like that's what they're going to do.
Down 3 scores, trailing 27-7. They are averaging 6.9 points per game this season. They have hit pretty much that average with the 7 points they scored in the first quarter. Roseburg trying to keep them at that part. 4th down and 13. Wakefield with a man to his left. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, looking to throw. Has a man wide open. It's caught at the 35, breaking free. It's Meade down to the 25-yard line, and Zach Mandera will be the man to bring him down. But wide open, Tyler Meade got lost on the defense, and Canby will stay on the field with their offense.
Yes, somehow Meade was able to get into that zone, and as Roseburg's playing that zone, nobody had him. Meade was completely wide open. Nobody was looking at him. The quarterback saw he was open and threw a perfect pass to him.
26 yards on the completion for Meade. He's got 79 yards through the air on 5 catches tonight. Sets up 1st and 10 from the Roseburg 24 for Canby. Quick pass out to the far side. Miscommunication with the receiver. Wakefield's pass nowhere close to the intended man.
The intended man was number 10, Brandon Morris. And Morris, that was a 3-step and out type of route. And Morris instead was trying to do like 5 yards, and he just hadn't even made his cut as the ball got there.
2nd down and 10 now for the Cougars. Clock stopped at 1:48. 3rd quarter action for you here. Tonight's game brought to you by our friends at TC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Ball at the 24, right hash mark. Wide side of the field, trips to that side. Handed off, up the middle goes Dale. He's inside the 20, falling forward down to the 16-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and short here for Canby as they are charging into that Roseburg defense. And so far on this drive, Roseburg has not had the answer to get off the field.
No, they haven't right there. They are able, Canby's picked up every bit of yards, but Canby's earned every bit of yards that they have picked up. Now that they're in the red zone, this field gets a lot shorter. There's a lot less you can do in the red zone.
3rd down and about 2. They've got to get it to the 14. They're at the 16. Quickly to the line now for Canby. Wakefield, Dale to his right. He'll turn it, hand it to him. Hit at the 15, spins out of the tackle and will fall down to the 10. I think Zach Mandera was there and had him for a stop if he could have held on, but Dale spins out of it and falls down to the 10 to make it 1st and goal for Canby. And I don't know, is there a penalty flag out? It seems like we're waiting here. An illegal formation against Canby. There was a flag. I think it was in the middle of their huddle. I didn't ever see it.
I never saw it.
And that'll take away a 1st down carry from Stephen Dale. It was a great carry and a battle that he won against Zach Mandera. And instead of getting 1st and goal from the 10, they'll be backed up to make it 3rd down and 7 for Canby.
So that's going to be a 10-yard penalty?
I believe so. So the ball back to the 21-yard line. They've got to get it to the 14. So they've got 7 yards to go.
And this is 4-down territory for Canby.
Fake the handoff, rolling to his left. Wakefield setting up, pressure coming. Man around him, it's Clayton Brellage who will get the sack and a huge stop on 3rd down for Roseburg's defense.
And the guy that's supposed to be blocking is the running back at that point, and he does not turn around, does not see Brellage come. Brellage goes right around him and is able to pick up that sack.
Loss of 7 for the Cougars. I think that was a 5-yard penalty, by the way, that backed him up on the illegal formation. And then they take a 7-yard sack on Clayton Brellage in the backfield.
And it's last week in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it looks like it will. Last week, Clayton Brellage had a sack for Roseburg's defense. He gets another one that will force 4th down and long for Canby when we come back to start the 4th quarter. It's 27-7 your score. Roseburg in front here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
We welcome you all back here to Finlay Field at Roseburg High School. Indians leading by 20, trying to hang on for their third win of the season. I want to thanks to everybody for either tuning in on the radio or watching the coverage online at 541radio.com. Whether it's your first game or you've been with us all season long, really appreciate the support that you guys give us just by tuning in. Without you guys, none of this is possible. 12 minutes on the clock, fourth quarter action for you. 4th down and 14 for Canby. The offense still on the field, trying to keep the drive alive. Wakefield dropping back to pass. He goes downfield and incomplete. Peyton Bryant in coverage, in perfect position. The pass was thrown short, intended for Risden Miller, and all Peyton Bryant had to do was turn back and keep in front of the wide receiver, and he knocks that one down for an incompletion. And with that, it is a turnover on downs. Roseburg will take over the ball.
And Bryant right there, he turned around at the last second, so I don't think he even saw the football. He just happened to be right in front of the receiver. The receiver couldn't do anything about Bryant being right there in front of him.
Roseburg has not done a ton with their offense here in the second half. 1 touchdown so far, but their defense has been holding Canby out of the end zone, and it's been making life easy for Roseburg here, leading 27-7. They take over with the football, 11:55 to go. High snap, quick pass out of Warmouth. He gets it to Herskovitz, the senior, into the other half of the field. He's got the speed, out racing the defense, and Eddie Herskovitz will get his first touchdown of the year. The senior going out big on senior night.
Right there, I'm glad Herskovitz got that touchdown right there. I was rooting for him last year. He's always seems to be that sure hand when things break down. And it broke down right there. It was a bad snap. The defensive line was coming. Herskovitz was open. Warmouth saw it and threw it there. And Herskovitz, the ball just stuck to his hands. It was a touchdown.
Well, and his defender falls down. It was all just everything worked out perfect. Herskovitz, his first touchdown catch of the season, and it's a big one. 72 yards to the house for Eddie Herskovitz, and the Indians add another score, now on top 34-7, as adding the extra point is Peyton Bryant. Roseburg starting to pull away from the visiting Canby Cougars, leading 34-7 with 11:43 to go in the fourth quarter. Back after a 30-second break on 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
Well, you got to be happy about a 72-yard touchdown to a senior, his first touchdown grab of the season. Eddie Herskovitz going to the house as he will help put Roseburg up 34-7 here on senior night. We will run through all the seniors on this year's squad for the Roseburg Indians. We'll have that here in this fourth quarter as they close out the regular season, and Roseburg hopes that their season continues. But they're up big here against Canby, trying to get that third win. All of them coming at home here in front of the home crowd. You got to be happy about that as well. Kick is a line drive. It goes short. It goes off the hands of one man, now picked up by another man for Canby. And he tried to turn it to the other side of the field, and Isaiah Moore stayed home. Great kick coverage by Roseburg as the return man for Canby, Brandon Morris, could not get to the edge to try and break free on a big return.
That was great by Isaiah Moore. He did stay on this outside. He stayed in his lane. even though everybody was running to the other side of the field. He stayed in his lane. He was the only guy there to make a tackle. If he wasn't there, it could have very well gone to the house for a Canby touchdown.
Up to the line comes the offense for Canby. They'll run a toss play out to the far side of the field. It goes to Dale. He gets tripped up by an ankle after picking up about 9 yards. Gets it out to the 39 on the first down carry.
It was Ethan Stoner that tripped him up. Ethan Stoner was being blocked by a receiver. He was able to get off his block and dive for the ball carrier, bringing him down.
Canby still huddling here with 11 minutes and counting to go in this ball game. Out to the 39 on the 9-yard pickup there for Dale. He sets up to the left of Wakefield. The reins have started to recede once again. Handoff again, Dale. The big back just continues to be a tough man to bring down. He gets into Roseburg territory, moves the chains, and boy, that young man continues to power his way through the Roseburg defense.
Yeah, Dale there bounced off of 3 Roseburg defenders before he was brought down.
So he picks up 12 yards on that run. Now has 59 yards on the ground on the night. We did see starting running back Jack Shunn go out with an ankle injury earlier. Was trying to find him on the sideline to see what kind of shape he's in, but I have not been able to locate him over there. 10.5 minutes to play in this ball game. Handed off and slipping through a very tight seam. Dale able to go over the right side between the tackle and guard, and he picks up 4 yards out to the Roseburg 45.
And it's Zach Bandera and Rourke Martin that were there together about the same time, bringing him down.
Clock continues to run. Dale is going to get a breather coming into the game at running back for this Canby team. That is Rylan Weimer, who will get a chance to go in at running back. 2nd down and 6. Clock now under 10 minutes to play. Nearing 9.5, and a penalty flag out, delay a game against Canby.
Nope, they got a timeout in.
They did get the timeout in just in time. Canby will take the timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. 9:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Roseburg leading 34-7 over Canby here on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Want to say thanks to Chance Terrell, back in the studio running the radio side here tonight. Angela Keyran running the video production here tonight. And Heather Nelson here just as moral support in the booth with us tonight. She's been helping in many other ways as well. I think she's preoccupied with her Dodgers in the World Series, though. 2nd down and long. Scramble out to the left side. A pass play. Did he stay inbounds?
Good. He was out of bounds.
The receiver, Risden Miller, makes the catch, but he falls out of bounds and cannot get a foot down. It'll be an incompletion. Great attempt, just not quite enough to keep it in bounds for Canby. Incompletion will make it 3rd down and 7.
Hey, an update for anybody wanting to know on the Pac-12. Utah is at UCLA. Utah is now ahead at halftime, 17-7.
Oh, okay. .9:29, the clock stopped after the incompletion. 3rd down and a long 6 to go, we'll say. 4-man front for the Roseburg defense. They hand it off. They're going to go with the reverse. Meade on the far side. He'll spring free, and a penalty flag out is probably bringing this one back. In the middle of that line, I believe, there was some hard popping going on. You could hear from up here Clayton Brelage was, I think, the target, and they may call it a blindside block on Canby.
Yeah, that's what I think they're going to do. And number 78 for Canby, Josh Haynes, had his hands up in the air like, really, this is how we were taught to block. He did not like that penalty at all.
We'll wait to see what this flag has to say. Our white hat, Bob Moffitt. Flag back at the 47, and they're going to count it off from there. It is against Canby. It is a blindside block against Canby. That was a big one, too. Takes them back 15 yards, and Canby will be deep in their own territory, back at their own 37-yard line, it looks like. Maybe 38, I think, actually. So Canby hurting themselves there. And they've been the more heavily penalized team here in this actually in the game overall.
In the entire game, because Roseburg has only technically had one penalty. All the other penalties have been declined against Roseburg.
Or offsetting, right?
Or offsetting.
Yeah.
So those don't even count.
9:22 to go. The ball back at the Canby 38. They've got to get to the Roseburg 39. So they've got a long ways to go. I believe that is, it's a long ways. Pump fake once, going downfield, and Isaiah Moore almost had his third interception. It goes right through his fingertips.
Yeah, right through his hands, and he jumped up just a little bit and realized he didn't have to as he was trying to catch the ball. I think that probably had something to do with him not actually catching that ball.
It'll make it fourth down. 23 yards to go. I can finally do the math in my head. So the punt unit comes out for Canby, a penalty flag down, and Zach Mandera is going to get called for roughing the punter here, I believe.
And that's an automatic first down, I think, isn't it?
It might, yeah. I don't know if they have the degrees of it at this level like they do at the higher levels, although Canby's now throwing up their hands wondering what it is. And Zach, when the penalty flag came out, Zach Mandera was trying to say somehow that it was going to be against Canby.
It's a hold.
It's a hold, yeah.
Wow.
So do they want to back them up 5 yards and make them punt it again, or do they just accept the ball where they received it? And I think Roseburg's going to decline the penalty and take it where they've got it. Holding against Canby is declined. They punt it away, and Roseburg will get the football with 8:58 to go in the ball game. Roseburg football tonight is brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Roseburg's offense back out on the field. They scored a 72-yard touchdown the last time they had the ball in their possession. A big play to Eddie Herskovitz. Ball will be set at the 26-yard line for Roseburg. See if the Tribe can wear off the 9 minutes pretty much to go here in this fourth quarter. A long way to go, but see if they can get a long time-consuming drive. Herskovitz moves in motion, fake the handoff to him. Warmouth rolling to his left, goes downfield, has Adams open. He catches it, loses the defender, no one around him. Goodbye, D'Angelo Adams, and another senior going to get another huge touchdown run for Roseburg.
And they got a flag back here at the 21 right now, and that's going to be in the area of holding probably.
And that's the initial signal that it is going to be holding. It's going to bring Roseburg back. D'Angelo Adams had what was going to be a 74-yard touchdown reception, and it's coming back.
It is holding against Roseburg.
So Roseburg gets a penalty there. That's unfortunate. The band playing the fight song, they're going to have to take it back.
And that's only the first penalty in the second half against Roseburg that has actually gone against Roseburg.
That would have been up there with some of the longest catch receptions for D'Angelo Adams. He has a 79-yard reception this season. That one would have been 74. So back to their own 11-yard line now for Roseburg.
What'd they do, mark off 15 yards?
They must have. I thought the penalty flag was at the 21. So the penalty hold, it's from the spot of the foul, so the hold goes from the 21 back to the 11. In shotgun, Warmouth is going to pitch it to Gillespie running left side. He made one cut, was able to get upfield, but he gets stopped in the backfield and pushed back, and he's going to lose a couple of yards on what is a first down carry, a first down and long.
And right there, that's fine for Roseburg to keep this clock moving, but they are going to have to pass the ball a little bit and try to get a first down. The longer Roseburg holds on to this ball, the better off it will be for Roseburg.
Loss of 2 on that carry there for Gillespie. Gillespie will empty out of the backfield. He'll go to the right side of the formation, trips out there with Bryant and Herskovitz on the near side. Excuse me, that's Herskovitz and Adams. Adams moves in motion. Give it to him on an end around. He eludes one tackler in the backfield, now gets to the edge, uses his speed, gets to the 20, lowers a shoulder, and delivers a shot to the defender as Adams gets to the 22. For a guy that looked like he was trapped in the backfield, he breaks free and is able to get out. Roseburg's still going to be facing third down and long.
And if he's able to break free, Jay Stoffel out there did a great job at a block, bringing his defender down. And if Adams is able to break free earlier, he may have been able to run that to the house because Stoffel had an amazing block right there.
13 yards on the carry for D'Angelo Adams to the 22. Roseburg's got to get to the 37. 15 yards to pick up here. Trips to the left side of the formation, looking to pass. They'll go on the inside screen to Adams in the middle of the field, trying to weave his way through traffic. He lost his footing, goes down at the 25, and Roseburg will have fourth down and 11.
And it was a good idea to cut it back because nobody was there. If he didn't lose his footing, he may have been able to pick up that first down. And now, unfortunately, it looks like Roseburg's going to have to punt the ball away.
Well, unfortunately, it goes from a 74-yard touchdown pass for D'Angelo Adams, and then a penalty brings it all back. And Adams, he only ends up with getting 3 yards out of that series on a pass reception. Did have 13 on a carry, but unfortunately, that would have been a huge boost to his numbers to finish out the season. Punt coming up here for Roseburg. Warmouth back inside his 15. Gets a boot behind this one. Sends it deep. The return man wasn't ready for it going that deep. He'll take it now at the 15 after a hop. He gets spun around, and he's not going to get away from Carson Ellis, who got his hand on him and was able to bring him in. Ellis, I don't know how he hung on there. He gets that hand on the jersey and just doesn't let him go.
It almost looked like Ellis had a hold of his belt. The football players in their pants have some belts there, and it almost looked like he had a hold of the belt, and he was just not going to let him go. No matter what, he was not going to let him go.
Back to the 23-yard line on the punt by Roseburg. They lead 34-7 with 6:55 to go. Should note here, with that 3-yard pass completion, Colin Warmouth goes over 200 yards on the night passing. His career high is 219 yards. So keep an eye on that one. He's only 16 yards shy of setting a new career record. Up to the line comes the Canby offense, trailing 34-7. They hand it off. Dale running left side. Stephen Dale, the senior, is going to get it out close to the 30. Comes up short at the 29, picks up 6.
And it looks like number 10, Herskovitz, was the first one to bring him down around his legs.
That 219 yards passing for Colin Warmouth, his single game high in his career at Roseburg. That came against Grants Pass earlier this season here at Finlay Field, a game that Roseburg almost came up with a big upset win against the Cavemen. Handoff again to Stephen Dale. He'll run over the left side. He just continues to find a little bit of room to run there and is able to pick up about 5 or 6 yards on most carries. He picks up the first down out to the 34-yard line, and it does move the chains.
And Ethan Stoner was there wrapping himself around him and bringing him down. And Roseburg doesn't mind him moving the chains right now. They don't want him to score, but they don't mind him moving the chains, keeping this clock going. As long as Canby continues to just run the football, the clock's going to continue to go, and the quarter will be over with before you know it.
Under 6 minutes to play here in the ball game. Handed off again to Dale, trying to go right side of the formation for the Cougars, and not much room on the right side. The left side has been opening up, but the right side, not as much.
And again, that was Stoner getting there first.
They put the ball on the other side of the 35 to the 36. Pickup of 2 that time for Dale. Down to 5.5 to play in the ball game. Roseburg looking like they've got some seniors out there up along that front line on the defensive end. They'll go with the 5-man front. Passing here, Wakefield to the near side to Tyler Mead. He makes one juke move, won't get away. D'Angelo Adams getting some defensive time, and the senior coming up with a nice tackle. And he stops him at the 40 to make it 3rd down.
And D'Angelo Adams right there was showing you he's not just fast on offense. He was quick at closing the distance between the receiver and himself, being able to wrap himself up and bring him down.
Up along that front line for Roseburg, Hunter Hilliard, a senior, getting some time defensively, along with Mason LeBon. Yeah, I saw Elijah Norris up there, another senior. Carson Ellis up on that front line. Culberhouse in the middle at linebacker. Ethan Stoner to some more seniors. Culberhouse, a senior, filling in for Mandera, looking to pass downfield. Mead almost picked off. That would have been the 4th interception of the night if Isaiah Moore could get a handle on these last couple of attempts he's had. He's had 2. He's had his hands get on a couple more. He could have been having a really big night for Isaiah Moore, the senior, finishing off his year here with Roseburg.
Yeah, if I was number 4 Trent Wakefield for Canby, I would stop throwing the ball in Isaiah Moore's direction, because Isaiah Moore he's feeling where that quarterback's throwing that ball. He's looking. He's got the speed to close the distance. Just stop throwing the ball towards Isaiah Moore.
Got a couple more seniors that are getting more time on the defense than we see normally. D'Angelo Adams missing him. Eddie Herskovitz is in as a safety. Garrett Zimet's still out there as well. But Roseburg starting to get those seniors out there and let them get some more playing time here tonight. 4th down and 6. No, 4th down and 5 is no good. And that'll be a turnover on downs by the offense. They'll give it back to Roseburg with 4:22 to play in the ball game.
And it looks like number 50-something, I can't tell. But on the Canby sideline, it actually was an incomplete pass because one of the linemen over on Canby sideline actually caught that pass. It was on sideline, though.
So turnover on downs. Roseburg will have it at the Canby 39. Again, 4:22 to go here in the 4th quarter. Elijah Norris is going to head out late out onto the field. A senior continuing to get some playing time. He'll be a tight end on the left side of the formation. Warmouth out there. Gillespie to his left. Chase Stoffel, the lone target, out on the far side of the field. Handed off. Gillespie running right side, trying to break free. He'll carry it for a couple of yards down to about the 37-yard line, picking up about 2 on that carry.
And as long as he continues to run that ball, he's being really smart, not getting too close to the sidelines. That clock continues to run, and Roseburg can get out of here with a huge victory.
Colin Warmouth is going to come out of the game as it looks like Garrett Zimet is going to take over the offense. Warmouth getting a round of applause from his coaches on the sideline. You've also got senior Ethan Stoner in there as a running back as Roseburg starting to mix it up, like some guys get out there and get some time here at the end of the regular season. It's a pitch to Stoner. He slips through his first tackler in the backfield but will not get away. He's going to unfortunately lose a couple of yards.
And this is a huge win. I think we can pretty much say a win for Roseburg now to come up with their 3rd win this season, to do it at Finlay Field, but not just at Finlay Field, do it on senior night, homecoming, and for a possible chance for a playoff berth.
Eddie Herskovitz back into the game. The senior with a huge touchdown grab in this one here in the 4th quarter. 72 yards, his first touchdown grab of the year. He'll set up on the right side. Isaiah Moore will join him out that direction. Again, the sophomore Garrett Zimet has come in at quarterback. And Roseburg's going to call a timeout here.
There was a kind of miscommunication on the Roseburg side. Zymet kept looking over at the sideline. He didn't quite understand what they were supposed to be running.
We'll take a quick 30-second break. 3rd down and 10 for Roseburg. When we come back, 2:49 to go in the ball game. Roseburg on top, 34-7 here on 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
There will be some mystery later on tonight as we wait to see what the final OSAA rankings have to say for us. But tonight, the Roseburg Indians are getting a chance to celebrate, leading right now 34-7 with 2:49 to go in the ball game. As we come back out of a timeout by Roseburg, they face 3rd down and 10 from the Canby 39. Zymet, the quarterback, will hand it off. Running left side, things open up for Ethan Stoner. He's into the secondary. He's got the first down as he goes down. The ball did come out.
But they're saying he was down.
They do say he was down at the 25-yard line. A little bit of I think one of the Canby guys kicked the football away from Riley Colberhouse, who had dove to try and recover the football. And then the Canby guys backing up like, whoa, I'm not doing anything. And trying to make sure things don't get a little bit more chippy here. I understand it's a tough way to go out and finish out your senior year. Having a tough one where you go winless in a season. And so I understand it, but definitely don't want things to get out of control down the stretch here. Down to the 25 on that run, 14-yard carry for Ethan Stoner. He'll set up to the right as Zymet now, 1st down and 10 for Roseburg from the 25. Shotgun snap. Stoner running left side. He's got Colberhouse in front of him blocking. He's down to the 15. Bounces off of one man inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for Roseburg on another big run for Ethan Stoner.
And it's good blocking by everybody involved on the Roseburg. The seniors that are out there playing, they are playing because they know this is their last game at home. Their last time that they're going to get to wear the black tops with the orange lettering, the black bottoms, the black socks. This is their last time, and they are taking advantage of every chance they get right now.
Stoner gets 17 yards on that carry. Ethan Stoner in the backfield has not had a touchdown this season. Came in only 12 carries, 36 yards. I think they're looking to try and get Ethan Stoner a touchdown here. The senior is to the left of Zymet. Packing that defensive front, though, is Canby. They'll snap it, and down to a minute 42, and Zymet takes a knee. So they move it back to the 13-yard line on the kneel down by Zymet.
And I think right now Roseburg realizes they do have the win right here. They don't need another 1st down, and they don't need to dig in another score on Canby.
I understand that. It would have been fun to see Stoner get a touchdown there. Here the PA public address announcer, Tom Nelson, saying that apparently there is a cousin of Rourke Martin on the Canby side, getting a chance for cousins to face off against each other here tonight. Another kneel down by Zymet. We'll take it back to the 19. Zymet, unfortunately, killing his rushing numbers tonight, but I don't think he's going to mind.
No, and I don't think Ethan Stoner minds not getting a touchdown. He was just giving high fives to the offensive line right there. Pretty happy with the way that this game is ending.
Down to 27 seconds, and Roseburg just waiting for that final horn to sound. They're leading at 34-7. Final snap, the placement down at the 25. And with 17 seconds to go, Roseburg is going to head to the sideline. The Indians are going to let the clock wind down as they get their 3rd win of the season and keep any hopes of the postseason alive. The final horn will sound. Roseburg wins 34-7. Your final score. The Indians on top to finish the regular season 3-6. And now we wait to see where they end up in the OSAA Power Rankings. Top 32, and this Roseburg team has a chance of making it into the postseason for the first time since 2014. Can they break the streak? We'll find out. We'll have the Roseburg Disposal postgame show for you when we come back, wrapping up the regular season tonight with a big win. The Roseburg Indians on top over the Canby Cougars here on CBS Sports Radio 1490, The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Tribal Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's a party down at midfield tonight here at Finlay Field, where the Roseburg Indians prevail 34-7 on top of the Canby Cougars to wrap up the regular season in 2018. Welcome to the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. I'm Joey Kieran, along with Josh Nelson. We're happy to be with you tonight here on this Friday night as we bring you the regular season finale for the Roseburg Indians. Time to wrap it all up as Roseburg gets their 3rd win of the season as they beat Canby 34-7. We do it here in the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run it up for you. Call Roseburg Disposal at 673-7122. Oh, they sing happy birthday out at midfield to Zach Mandera, one of the 14 seniors honored pre-kickoff here tonight. Big part of this Roseburg Indian team, not only this season, but for the last 4 years, got some time out on the field as a freshman for head coach Thurman Bell at the time, and he has just continued to be an all-star for this team from that freshman year, a Portland State commit. Happy birthday, Zach Mandera, and congratulations to the entire Roseburg senior class going out in style here in 2018. A big win here tonight. Josh, man, you cannot go out any better than that. Last year we had hoped to be feeling this kind of emotion where Roseburg maybe gives themselves a chance to get into the postseason, at least finish the season with a regular season victory. Unfortunately, last year, as head coach Dave Heiberger put it in the pregame coach's interview, the Indians laid an egg against North Salem. Tonight against Canby, they did exactly what we anticipated the Roseburg Indians doing.
Yeah, they did exactly what it showed on paper. They dominated this game from their first offensive play being a double pass and a touchdown to finishing this game with the seniors on the field, driving the ball down the field. So Roseburg did a great job. Congratulations to the seniors on getting a win. And not only did they get a win on their last home game of the season, they got a win for homecoming and a chance for the playoffs. So congratulations to them, and happy birthday, Zach Mandera.
Yeah, it's been a big night, as a lot of things going on here this evening. Taking a look at the scoring from tonight's contest, Roseburg started it out. You mentioned the trick play, the double pass. Jace Stoffel connecting with Peyton Bryant, 63 yards out to make it 7-0 in the first quarter. Canby would respond. They get a touchdown on a pass from Trent Wakefield, connecting with Risden Miller, tied it up at 7-7 with 3:36 to go in the first quarter, but Roseburg would score with just about 60 seconds left to go in the first quarter. This time a 6-yard quarterback keeper for Colin Warmoth made it 14-7, and Roseburg led the rest of the way. Roseburg would get another touchdown before the halftime break. Colin Warmoth connecting with Peyton Bryant this time, and it was from 60 yards out, made it 21-7 in the first half. Roseburg gets another score in the third quarter. Warmoth connecting with Garrett Zymet for a 27-yard touchdown strike. Zymet getting his first touchdown catch of the season, his second touchdown of the year, made it 27-7. That was your score after 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, Warmoth, his final touchdown pass of the game, this time connects with Eddie Herskovitz, the senior, getting his first touchdown catch of the year. It's from 72 yards out, and that would polish off the scoring, 34-7. Big night for a lot of offensive guys. Big night passing for Colin Warmoth. Almost meets a career high. Falls just a little short of that, but nonetheless, a big night for him, going over 200 yards. Some big pass plays. Peyton Bryant, Eddie Herskovitz almost had one for D'Angelo Adams, but he had some bright spots on the offensive side of the ball as well. Big night all around for everybody on this Roseburg team as they go out winners here in 2018 and hope that they'll get another chance to take the field coming up in the postseason. Coming up here in the postgame show, we'll take a look at some of your stats in our next segment. We'll get some thoughts on this one tonight, get some recap on how the Indians played, tell you what the postseason picture and what we need to have happen for Roseburg, and we'll tell you what's coming up here on The Score. So plenty to get to still here as we continue the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Want to let you know tonight's game also been brought to you by Fisher's Hearth & Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Fisher's Hearth & Home. Back with more of the postgame show after this here on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth & Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
More of the Roseburg Disposal post-game show here for you tonight. Still plenty of folks milling around out on Finlay Field. I do not blame them. No guarantee that Roseburg's heading into the postseason, which it's not going to be a game here at home. So spend as much time out on that field wearing those pads, wearing that jersey as you can, and enjoy every minute of it. Senior night goes out in style. Roseburg wins 34-7. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of your Umpqua Dairy stats from tonight's game. Umpqua Dairy, your local dairy since 1931. For the visiting team, the Canby Cougars, their quarterback Trent Wakefield goes an unofficial 8 for 23 through the air. He had one interception for him. Trying to remember if that is correct here. I know we had a couple. Had an INT in the first quarter. And let's see here. Had one in the third quarter. And that one was not him. That was the other guy. So 2 picks, it looks like. I missed one in there. So get one more added in there for him. So I guess that's going to make him 8 for 24. I thought only one interception was going to be small. So 8 for 24. He did throw a touchdown. That came in the first quarter from 12 yards out. Finished with 118 yards passing tonight for the Cougars. Andrew Peters came in. He did have one passing attempt. It was intercepted as well. 0 for 1 for him. On the ground, Jack Shunn, before going out with an ankle injury, had 9 carries, 25 yards. Wakefield had 8 carries, finished exactly with 0 yards after taking a few sacks. And on 14 carries, Stephen Dale, the senior, finishes with 76 yards on the night. Receptions, unofficially, Risden Miller, 2 catches, 35 yards, and 1 for a touchdown. And Tyler Mead had 6 catches for 83 yards. On the other side for Roseburg, Colin Warmouth, unofficially 7 for 11 tonight. 201 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jay Stoffel 1 for 1, 63 yards through the air and a touchdown. Through the air, Eddie Herskovitz, 1 catch for 72 yards and a score. Peyton Bryant, 3 catches, 137 yards and 2 scores. Garrett Zymet, 1 catch, 27 yards and a touchdown. D'Angelo Adams, 2 catches, 22 yards. And Carson Ellis, 1 catch for 6 yards. On the ground tonight for Roseburg, Zach Mandera, 8 carries, 21 yards. Colin Warmouth, 11 carries, 17 yards, and a touchdown. Doran Gillespie, 5 carries, 4 yards. Garrett Zimet, taking knees at the end of the game, ends up losing yards, finishes -4 yards. Ethan Stoner, 29 yards on 3 carries, and D'Angelo Adams, 1 carry for 13 yards. Those are your stats for tonight's game and how things work out here this evening. Well, Josh, some final thoughts just kind of on tonight's game before we start turning the page to what could be for the Roseburg Indians coming up.
The final thoughts, I think that from the beginning of the season to the last game, tonight, or last regular season game for sure, possibly last game of the season, but tonight we saw a completely different football team than we did opening day against Mountain View. We saw a team that has matured and has grown throughout the entire season, and the seniors becoming leaders on this field over the time with Mandera, Stoner, Warmouth, all taking control of this team and trying to turn it in a positive direction, and they end on a very positive note, completely winning this game. They won all of their home games on Finlay Field this year, or not all their home games, but 2 out of the 3 at Finlay Field this year. Yeah, and so all the way around, you've got to be, or 3 of them, 3 out of.
Oh, they finished with 3. Now, for some reason, you've got me questioning myself here. Wins at home against Reynolds, at home against North Medford, and at home against Canby.
Yeah,
so 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 they got at home. So they did a great job at defending the new turf all the way around. It was a new turf. It was a new team this year, all the way come around. And they finished. Unlike last year, they weren't able to finish. This year, they finished the game. They didn't let it get away. They got up big, and they stayed up the entire time.
Roseburg wins 34-7 here tonight against Canby. We will take a look at what the chances are of Roseburg getting into the postseason when we come back. Plus, we'll check some other scores from around the region and the state, and we finish out our 2018 regular season with our final segment of the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Tonight's game has been brought to you by I-5RV. Visit I-5RV in Sutherland, now under new management. That's I-5RV. Back after this final 2-minute break on CBS Sports Radio 1490, The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Tribal Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Wrapping up the 2018 football season here at Finlay Field, still spotting a number of seniors down on that field, having fun with their classmates, enjoying one final time wearing the uniform for the Roseburg Indians here at home. Special night tonight as Roseburg wins 34-7. Joey Kieran, Josh Nelson with you. Thanks so much for tuning in all season long with us here, folks. And Roseburg, big win here tonight. Well, the question that's going to be on everybody's mind all night long is going to be, can Roseburg sneak in to the postseason? And that question, unfortunately for you folks right now, I do not have a very good answer. It's not final because the rankings don't officially freeze until 10 o'clock. There's still a number of games that haven't been reported or haven't been updated in the system. So take this with a grain of salt because it can very much change over the next 15 minutes to a half hour because while the OSAA says that they freeze the rankings at 10 o'clock, they constantly get updated throughout the night on nights like tonight. But Roseburg, as of right now, their numbers have been updated. 3-6 on the year, 1-3 in conference, and Roseburg sits at number 34. Yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. Roseburg actually dropping 4 spots in the rankings after a win at home. They do beat a team that was ranked below them at number 40. So you got to go off of what they did, who they beat, and what other teams around them have done. Yeah, I agree with probably what your sentiment is thinking, what people may be thinking out there. It doesn't quite seem right. It doesn't necessarily seem fair. But for some reason right now, Roseburg has dropped 4 spots in the rankings to number 34. Again, that is not final. We do not know if it'll change again. It may not. But as of right now, I can tell you Roseburg at number 34 on the OSAA website. It's a system we have to work with. Now, that's all I can say. It's unfortunate that maybe this Roseburg team, we thought at number 30 they'd have a chance to get in, but it's unfortunate that at the moment it looks like they may just missed out on the postseason.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, especially so we know right now that North Medford's ranked 1 spot above them. North Medford did lose tonight. They did not score a point tonight against South Medford, 35-0. So that would put Roseburg at number 4 in the Southwest Conference out of 5 because of the tiebreaker against North Medford. So the fact that if North Medford stays 1 spot above them, that's kind of disappointing. Even though 1 spot's not going to get us into a playoff berth, it is disappointing because Roseburg did play Sheldon better than Grants Pass played Sheldon tonight. Sheldon won 56, Grants Pass 6. So overall, I think Roseburg has improved. They closed the gap in the Southwest Conference, I think, over everybody besides Sheldon. And Sheldon was just a remarkable team overall. I don't think anybody could have probably closed the gaps in the Southwest Conference against the Sheldon team. But they did against everybody else in the Southwest Conference. They didn't take care of business against Grants Pass and South Medford, which they needed to do to guarantee themselves a playoff berth. So now they are forced to see if they can get an at-large bid. And that's unfortunate because if this stands the way it is, Roseburg will be left out again for the 2nd straight year.
It does look like there are some finals that haven't been put in. Centennial at number 29, Gresham at number 30. I think Aloha at 31, Lincoln at 31. Those are some teams that are all 8 games in, so they've got 1 more to be reported. So there's going to be some movement. The rankings were last calculated at 932. It's 951. So there's going to be some movement. Hopefully maybe some things move in Roseburg's direction, and they will bump up because there's teams right there around the 32 mark that still have their results that need to be inputted. And so those could help out the Roseburg Indians in their pursuit of trying to get an at-large bid. If they do, if Roseburg does get an at-large bid, we will bring you the game. Expect the game to be in the Portland metropolitan area. Lake Oswego, Jesuit, Clackamas, West Lynn, those are the teams at the top of the standings, and those will be one of the teams Roseburg will have to go face. It's not going to be an easy contest. Might be somewhat like the Sheldon game, but as we said earlier, just having an extra week of practice, an extra week of team bonding, an extra week of just doing more football stuff will be enormously important for this Roseburg football team. So while I tell you they are number 34 in the rankings right now, do not despair. There's still some time. There's still a chance they could possibly move into an at-large playoff bid. No guarantees. That's the way we started this evening. No guarantees. No matter what happened, Roseburg, no guarantees. But win, and at least you finish your season on the right note, and you give yourself a chance to get into the postseason. We got to start wrapping it up here, Josh. Otherwise, we'll be the only one left in the building. We do need to get to our final Abby's Legendary Pizza Player of the Game. I don't know. There were a lot of great performances out there tonight. Peyton Bryant had a great night. Isaiah Moore had a great night. Could have been even bigger if he had hung on to a couple of interceptions. Colin Warmoth has a nice night going over 200 yards passing with a couple of touchdown passes in there as well. Zach Mandera doing a lot of great stuff. You know what? I'd like to pick it out to one guy. I don't know. Do you have a thought there?
Well, I kind of want to go back over, just in case this is the last night for Roseburg football, and it is senior night. So I kind of want to stay with that tradition there with the seniors and give them the thanks that they deserve overall. They did pick up the pieces. They did lead this team. They started out really bad and improved tremendously over the entire season, and then to walk away with the win on the last game of the season, I really think that it probably should go to the seniors for this RHS class.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I was kind of leaning the same direction. Thank you to this year's senior class. 19 seniors on the roster this year. They do not all finish with the team, but a big thanks to the 19 seniors that helped make this year a success for the Roseburg Indians. Howie Lake, Josh Mendoza, Kobe Gilbert, just reading down the roster here. D'Angelo Adams, Eddie Herskovitz, Zach Mandera, Dalton Pariani, Colin Warmoth, Ethan Stoner, Bryson Diaz, Jordan Reasoner, Carson Ellis, Elijah Norris, Riley Colberhouse, Hunter Hilliard, Thomas Ruth, Mason Laban, Colbert, and Isaiah Moore, all seniors on the roster this year, contributing in one way or another to what this team did. And as head coach Dave Heiberger said in the pregame show, as a senior at this point, you just hope you're leaving the program in a better spot than when you left it. And the goal this year was to close the gap. Those seniors were the leaders that helped this Roseburg team close the gap on the rest of the Southwest Conference. We'll see where the program is able to take it in the years to come. So a big thanks and congratulations to those 19 seniors. They handed off to 23 juniors that'll be leading the program coming up next year. So hopefully those seniors will get one last chance to suit up for the Roseburg Indians, and we'll definitely be keeping tabs on that. Do you got any scores to pass along here before we wrap things up? I know we kind of were doing some of that earlier. We've got some Umpqua Basin teams that are hoping to try and make it into the postseason here tonight. What kind of things do you got put together over there?
So I've got several scores. The last score I had was at halftime for South Umpqua and Douglas. Douglas was up 8-0. I don't have an update on that one. Sutherland beat Susala 60-16. They are tied for first place, or I don't know how that is right now.
They would be, at worst, they'll stay tied for first place, but there'll be some tiebreaker stuff that comes into play on that.
Lakeview is at Glide, but I don't have an update on that game at all.
That's another big one there as well.
Jefferson at Oakland at halftime was the last score update I got on that. Jefferson was up 21, Oakland 18. That was at half, though. I don't know what that score is now. Oak Ridge at Yoncalla. Oak Ridge 22, Yoncalla 42. That's a final.
You might have your teams wrong there. I got Perrydale and Yoncalla.
Perrydale and Yoncalla. Where do I get Oak Ridge and Yoncalla?
I'm not sure, but
right.
Yoncalla did win 80-46.
Oh, Yoncalla did win 80-46. Great.
There we go.
Well, I don't know why I have that
Waldport and Waldport and Oak Ridge were meeting up tonight.
Well, I don't know why I have that score there. But anyways, Yoncalla won anyways, so a great way to send off the seniors.
80-46 there, yeah.
They don't have any. They aren't going into any playoffs or nothing like that. I do have Siletz at Elkton. Elkton did win 62-0 final. They are heading into the playoffs with today's win. North Douglas at Falls City. North Douglas falls to Falls City. North Douglas 6, Falls City 46. That's ending North Douglas's chance to make the playoffs. And then Glendale at North Lake. Glendale won 50, North Lake 28 final. It doesn't do anything for Glendale to win this game. They are out of the playoffs, but it is a great way to end the season. Triad at Riddle. Triad 14, Riddle 42. Riddle is now heading into the playoffs as well. Days Creek at Bonanza. Days Creek lost to Bonanza 24, Bonanza 38. That was ending Days Creek's chance at a playoff berth there. Camas Valley had to bye today. As for in Douglas County, Reedsport at Rogue River, I have no update on that. As I said earlier, North Medford at South Medford, Black and Blue Bowl. North Medford 0, South Medford 35, which did put Roseburg in 4th place of the Southwest Conference out of 5 teams. So Roseburg does not finish last in the Southwest Conference. Grants Pass at Sheldon. Grants Pass 6, Sheldon 56. So Sheldon is definitely Southwest Conference League championship this year. Last I saw for the Red Sox and Dodgers, it was still tied at the bottom of the 12th. And then number 23, Utah at UCLA. Utah did come back. It is 3 minutes and 7 seconds left in the third. Utah's up 31-10. One of the things that we were hoping on catching today was we were wanting Bend to win against Mountain View. Bend lost to Mountain View, 7, Mountain View 24.
Did you have an Oakland-Jefferson score? I thought I heard you mention that one in there.
Let me see. Oakland and Jefferson, I only had them at halftime. Jefferson 21, Oakland 18.
Okay, well, if Oakland could pull out a victory there, this will be interesting. Oakland was hoping that Central Lynn would beat Regis, and it seemed like a long shot. But Central Lynn comes up with a 33-28 win against Regis tonight. If Oakland can take down Jefferson and pull off the upset tonight up there at Oakland, the Oakers are in the postseason as the number 2 team out of their Special District 3 there. After the way they started, that would be a big surprise that they are able to squeak in. But if they win that game, they're in, as far as I understand it. So,
that would be impressive.
Yeah, things falling in their way. They just have to get the victory. So we will be trying to update as much as we can online at 541radio.com throughout the weekend as information continues to come in throughout the night tonight and tomorrow. So stay with us. We'll definitely have updates on which teams are in the postseason and where they're headed in to next week's first round for many of these local teams. So there you go. A lot to digest, but we'll be doing our best to try and get you all the information posted online. All right, folks. We're going to pretty much wrap it up there. I want to say thanks to a couple of last sponsors here, Flyway Travel and Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. All right, we'll wrap it up. We are waiting to find out if Roseburg football is headed somewhere next week. If not, we may pick up another game here from around the county for next week. We may take a week off. I'm not exactly sure. We'll figure it out as the information becomes available. So stay tuned to 541radio.com to find out the latest with our broadcast schedule. If this does wrap it up for the Roseburg Indians here tonight, thank you very much. It's been a great season. Congratulations to all the seniors. Best of luck to everyone going forward. Want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin, Head Coach Dave Heiberger, and the entire Roseburg football program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg football here on 1490 The Score. Say thanks to the Canby Cougars for helping us get ready for tonight's broadcast. Want to say thanks to Chance Terrell back in the studio, Cruz Ibanez and Brenton Cranford, all for doing radio production throughout the season on the radio side of things. Want to say thanks to Angela Kieran and all the folks that have helped us run camera throughout the season here on site. Big thanks to Josh Nelson for the color analyst tonight and what he's been doing throughout the season with us as well. And want to say, as always, a thanks to you, the fans, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran, folks. It has been a pleasure to bring you another season of Roseburg football here on The Score. We hope it carries in for at least one more week next Friday night. We'll have more details for you about that online at 541radio.com. If football season's done, it's time to start getting ready for Roseburg basketball season, which you'll be able to hear here on The Score, so stay tuned for that. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Drive home safe, and we'll talk to you again here soon. This has been Roseburg Football, streaming online at 541radio.com and on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. All right, guys.